Hello and welcome to the streams. Hello. Hi. I'm Icarus and these are the streams. We'll take this off. We don't need this anymore. Oh, let's check on that. Right. Hello everyone. Let me just make sure I can hear myself. Obviously that would be very, very bad if I couldn't. Obviously that would. Yep, okay, I can. Alright, this is it. Hi everyone. Hello. Oh, my hair looks awful. Okay. This is it. This is it, everyone. Today we begin. We've been doing this for a while. For anyone who doesn't know, today is the beginning of the end. Well, kind of. It's just the first part of it. Why do you hate video games? I don't hate video games, Vitruvian. I will be playing video games, but we have to prepare. We have research to do first. Oh boy, research. What fun. We got more important things to do, like research in deep lore. Aren't you excited? Don't blame me, blame Nomura. He's the one who made this insane story. Hello, Vitruvian. Today, we will be doing the beginning of the end with the recap for the Kingdom Hearts Chronicles. Today, we will be doing the final, for now, recap of Kingdom Hearts. Everything in the series so far, all the way up to Kingdom Hearts 3. For anyone who does not know, I'm Icarus, these are streams, and ever since I started my dives in streaming, one of the first things I did years ago, like 2021 or something, 2020 maybe even, we've been doing a series where we go through Kingdom Hearts in chronological order. Not game release order, chronological order, based on the story itself. And it has been a long journey. A very, very, very long journey. And so today, we take the first step into the final steps of that journey. Today will be the recap of the lore so far. Now, before we jump in, I, of course, want to link this to the most important story of reality, God's Word, and His love. And I want to show that in the connections that I think are made through His love, which is the source of all goodness in the world. Vitruvian, I only played 3, but it was down quite quick. Yes, it is fast. 3 has a lot. We will get there. For anyone who doesn't know the rules of here, at this point, we have covered everything in Kingdom Hearts, and I mean everything. Phone games and all the way until 3. The only things we have not covered is Kingdom Hearts 3 itself, the DLC Remind, Melody of Memory, technically, and the trailer for 4, I guess, technically. Other than that, we've covered everything. And as we move into this, what we're going to do today is going to cover all that, so spoilers abound. But before we do, I want to share a little bit of His word, because all goodness comes from the Lord Almighty. I'm a believer of His love and the blood that He shed and the forgiveness and mercy that comes from such. I believe that all love, all mercy in the world, and all good things come from that. For a series that has so much heart, like Kingdom Hearts, lol, I want to link it. I would be remiss not to link it to what I believe is truth in that love, that it echoes off of. And we've done this before, with Birth by Sleep and all of it, Dream Drop and all of it. And so today I wanted to share one verse which will lead into the verses we will be covering as we go into 3. Just one verse today. And we've actually already covered this whenever we went into Dream Drop, the game before this one. But this is going to set the stage for what our sweet boy Sora and everyone's going to be going through. So, where is it? There it is. This is Galatians chapter 6, I believe. Let me make sure real quick. I should check this. Yes, Galatians 6, verse 9. Hold on. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. We have seen our heroes, our sweet boy Sora, our ex-brooding boy Riku, our sweet girl Kyrie, and just everyone in between, Sora and Doll and Goofy and all the wonderful ones. We've seen them go through ups and downs, dismay and happiness, backed into a corner, hurt and trials, and they made it through. Today we will be reviewing all of it, and the hurt that has been built throughout the fictional series that Nomura created. And one of the things that Kingdom Hearts always puts forward is let your heart be your guiding key, and never give up, hold on to that light inside. As in the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, when Sora says, there's a light that never goes out. Biblically, we know that humanity, unfortunately, only has the semblance of that light given to us by consciousness from the Lord. His love and grace bestowed upon us for such. But his blood was shed to give us an everlasting light that in reality never goes out, no matter what storms we weather in the real world. And I think that stories like Kingdom Hearts and others, one of the reasons I always love video games, stories like that, is because it shows and exemplifies the echoes of that love in a fictional world, but one that can connect to what we go through in real life and the hurts and pains of it. Now, the Nomura stuff goes off the wall sometimes, but it does relate deep down to what matters. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added to you. Reap, as it talks about, hold on, actually it's in this. Yes, WC, God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he reap. For the one who sows the flesh, corruption, darkness, hurt, selfishness, will reap from the flesh corruption. But the one who sows in the spirit, kindness, hope, purity, whatever things are honest, whatever things are good, think on these things, will reap for the spirit eternal life. And do not grow weary in it, because this world is turbulent, this world is hurtful, this world falls apart. But in the end, if we do not give up, we will reap the fruits of the Spirit. And that is the mindset I want to go into as we enter this final section of Nomura's insane creation that is Kingdom Hearts. So, as we have that in our own hearts, as we move into this, we will be going over everything in the story so far. So, if anyone hasn't seen one of these before, if you want to see the other ones, I've done this, like 4 times before, all the way through each game. You can go to Icarus Redeemed on YouTube, whatever. This will be the definitive version that just won't include 3 in what we're going to do. What we're going to be doing is, I've created a wonderful slideshow. I have abbreviated the slideshow, because last time we did this, PowerPoint was so full of what I created for this that it crashed my computer multiple times. And I have a good computer. I bought this thing. Anyone who's been around for a while knows that. So, holy crap, this thing's long. I have abbreviated it. It is shorter. It is still long, but it is shorter. And it should be okay. Pray, Lord. We will be going through it. For anyone who has not played Kingdom Hearts, for anyone who does not know, I strongly recommend the series. I know it gets a bad rap, and I understand that. And I will be the first to stand up and say Nomura, the creator of Kingdom Hearts, Nomura. If you ever hear me refer to Nomura, that is Tetsuya Nomura, the creator of Kingdom Hearts. If you ever see me say his name, that's who I'm referring to. I will be the first one to stand up and say, Nomura, what are you smoking? What the heck? I love Kingdom Hearts. I think it has incredible concepts, really good themes, and a very fun story and great gameplay. So much fun gameplay. The best action RPG gameplay I've ever seen. So much fun. So much fun. And 3 especially. We're going to be there. However, Nomura has the problem where he puts concepts on concepts on concepts on concepts on concepts, and it's so full that it gets so hard to follow. As we come to 3, everything so far, except for the deep lore, which is what we're going to go over first in Union Cross, everything else is wrapped up in 3, and I mean pretty much everything. In order to prepare for that, we are going to go over what has happened so far. If you have not played Kingdom Hearts and you do not want to be spoiled, please feel free to leave. I will not have my feelings hurt. You are A-okay. I'd rather you experience the joy of this insane creation yourself than to be spoiled by just a review of it. If you never played the games and you're like, look, I just want the lore, I don't want to play all of it, but maybe I'll be in it for 4. Maybe. Okay. Feel free to stick around. If you just want to, I'm curious about the lore. I'm okay replaying it even if I know the lore, but which I don't understand. I want to experience it all fresh. But to each their own. Feel free. But we will be spoiling. Spoilers. We will be spoiling everything from the Union Cross, from the old phone games, the deep, deep, deep lore that was only on this, all the way to Dream Drop, right before Kingdom Hearts 3. Right before Kingdom Hearts 3. Everything. So, without further ado, let's get on in here. Okay, here we go. Where is it? Welcome to the insane, crazy Nomura, what are you doing? Why are you doing this lore of Kingdom Hearts? Buckle up. Keep in mind as we go, I will only be, because there's so much, and I've abbreviated this, it will only cover the most important plot and character points needed for 3, for Kingdom Hearts 3. It will not cover everything in detail. If you want more detail for each game, I genuinely do suggest you go back and watch my, on Icarus Redeem, go back and watch each one. Like the latest one is for Dream Drop, and it covers everything pretty well. That one's not abbreviated. It doesn't include Dream Drop, but you get the idea. Dream Drop in here is not abbreviated. I kept that pretty open because we have not done that yet. But if you want more like detailed of everything before Dream Drop, go watch the last recap. It's in the series of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop. Go to the first video. It'll be the first one. Well, actually the first 2. I think I broke it up because it was so long. Okay, this time we're not, and let's get started. Another reason why I changed everything to starting at 10, not 11, because I love the night, but I'm not staying up that late. Okay. In a land of magic, quite unlike our own, of mysteries, of wonders, of spectacle, of hearts, of light glowing and brilliant, we find the beginning of our story, of Nomura's insane story. This is the world of light. Many, we're talking Old Republic and Star Wars, many years ago, before there was the broken ones, before there were multiple key plates of heart, before all that stuff, there was the world of light. The world of light was an open, vast Pangea-like space where images of fantasy existed alongside each other. Possibilities and magic abounded. And the world existed on a singularity of basking in that glow from above, as everything existed and did not exist together. All the worlds in harmony and being everything it could be. It was the epitome of a child's dream of fantasy. And this world, this beautiful vast land filled with light and bathed in such, was ruled by an individual. This cloaked man was known as the Master of Masters. Not Master of Master, or Master of Masters, whatever. I'm not fixing it. Or Mom, for short. We will refer to him as Mom. It's good old Mom. I'll say hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Mom was the overseer in Daybreak Town. In Daybreak Tower, whatever. This tower here. I forgot its name. It's fine. He ruled there. And he ruled over the land of light, and everything was great. Everything was wonderful and magical and beautiful. Think of the Garden of Eden kind of idea. The Master of Masters had a lot of power, a lot of strength and skill, of course. He's an old overseer. But one of the things he had was this book here. This book is called the Book of Prophecies, and it is Nomura's screenplay. I say that laughing because heaven knows he doesn't have this whole thing written out from the start, so it's funny thinking that there was a book written out from the start about everything that's going to happen. Yeah, yeah, that's a funny, ironic joke there, Nomura. I joke, but this stuff does link up pretty well. This book held the prophecies of everything that would happen in the future of the world of light, of reality and existence. Once again, the screenplay. The metaphoric screenplay of the entirety of the series, which heaven knows exists right now in real life, as Nomura has up in his noggin, if nothing else. Surely he has the whole thing written out. He doesn't. There's no way. This book told of what was to come, and it told of some not so great future and the threat of darkness. You see, darkness came and on its own, in its own entity, talked with, confronted, communed with the Master of Masters, or Mom. Darkness itself, at this time, way back when, was an entity. It was a force of non-will that had the notion and gumption to do one thing: spread and corrupt. It is the embodiment of chaos within the world of Kingdom Hearts, within this world of light. And it was separated from the light, but it came as a future catastrophe that would apply. It would appear and consume, as the book told of. The world itself would be fractured and swallowed by it. And only the Child of Destiny, which Nomura conveniently hadn't talked about for a long time in the series, could stop it. Master of Masters, for all of his wisdom, for all of his eons probably of experience, could not think of anything immediately to do. And so, as he sat there confronting the darkness, the embodiment of it, who also got to look at the Book of Prophecies, by the way, but he figured, in order to stop this, the Book of Prophecies talks about the Child of Destiny who would stop the darkness eventually. But the Child of Destiny would need to come whenever things got bad. So, everything's peaceful for now. The Master of Masters, and all of his insane weird wisdom, decided to go on ahead and kickstart that. The world of light exists on the opposite plane of the world of darkness. So the way it works in Kingdom Hearts is that the world of light is here. There is an Oreo cream filling inside the realm, which is the realm between, which is the realm of sleep and like the weird nether realm between, kind of limbo space. And then there's the world of darkness. Think of it like Stranger Things, the Upside Down. It's a mirror. It is corrupted on its own, but it is pure dark. The world of darkness and the world of light are fully cut off from each other. One cannot go to the world of darkness easily. One cannot go to the world of light easily from either side. However, as the Book of Prophecy talked about, eventually darkness would seep through and overtake. And Mom was willing to prepare for this and willing to sacrifice quite a bit for it. You see, Mom figured that, okay, in order to beat darkness, I'm going to need to kickstart things so that the Child of Destiny will appear, because the only way to have control of something, and humanity is like this, is to grasp it, even if it hurts to do. So, what the Master of Masters did was, he made 5 apprentices. Okay, 6. 5, 6 apprentices, each one wearing a little animal mask thing on them. And to each one, he bequeathed power and strength and training. He himself had what is known as the ultimate Keyblade. And I don't know why this isn't pictured here. You'll see it in a second, because I took it off. The Keyblade that he had was the oldest in existence, and from it, he bequeathed power to all these 5, 6. And to each of them, he bequeathed a piece or an incomplete version of the Book of Prophecies. He educated them, they grew close to him, they trusted him. And what he did was, secretly to each one, he gave a role. A role that none of the others knew about and was kept to secrecy, and would eventually be the seeds of doubt, leading to sin, leading to corruption, leading to darkness, that would cause everything to break apart. Now, why did he do this? We're not there yet. Even now, we don't. He did it, okay? He did it. That's where we are. Gonna have to accept that. Maybe we'll ask him one day. But for now, he bequeathed each of them power. And each of them began to talk with each other, confide in the master, but the master of masters himself ended up bailing. He bequeathed all of this to them, and then he left. He bailed. He jumped away. No one knew where he went. And all 5 of the masters that were left, these guys, were plunged into doubt, into uncertainty, as sheep without a shepherd began to try to fulfill their incomplete roles. And by doing so, ended up brewing bitterness and doubt and animosity towards each other, because they founded their own factions in order to deal with each other, in order to deal with the emerging threat. Now, one of the factions, the fox, was given a special kind of role. Her role was to collect hearts of strength and light, so that when things went down, and when darkness hit, which he, by the way, remember, he instigated, she would be able to take this new generation of dandelions to the future, to have the seeds of light carry on as the flood of judgment hit. Now, I've been saying all this time there's 5, right? 5. The 4 that gained the dark, that had the bitterness and doubt against each other, ended up fighting, and then the 1 who was given the dandelions, the fox. But I kept saying 6 because there was 1 more apprentice, 1 more. And this apprentice is named Lushu. Lushu, this is not Master of Masters. I know he wears the same cloak, but Master of Masters gave him one. So it's like, hey, you can have it too, because the cloak wards off darkness. That's why, like, it wards off darkness, it allows one to interact with darkness without being corrupted, okay? That's why Master of Masters is able to talk to darkness embodiment itself without being corrupted, we think. So, Lushu was given a very, very special role. And I'll move out of the way so you can see. A role with 2 duties to it. His was different from everyone else. This here is the Master of Masters Keyblade. A Keyblade is a weapon of light from the heart of the wielder, connected and shining with hope against darkness to banish it. It is the Keyblade, is the wielder of light. It is a weapon of light to fight against. This is the Master of Masters Keyblade. Before he left, he gave this Keyblade to Lushu, and he said, I want you to hold on to this Keyblade. And I want you to hold on to it and watch what's going to happen with the Keyblade. Because if you notice, this here, you see that little weird eyeball thing? See that blue eye? That's the Master of Masters' actual eyeball. Yeah, the more it gets weird with this. He, with magic, removed his eye, enchanted it, did what he did. He's Master of Masters, he can do whatever he wants. How does Darth Plagueis do what he does in Star Wars? You get the idea. Force magic stuff. And he planted it into his Keyblade. So whatever the Keyblade witnesses and is part of, whatever witness me, he will witness for me, he will witness as well. So he said, I want you to take this Keyblade, and I want you to hold on to it. And when you think you found someone who may be the child of destiny, who may be what we're waiting for, whenever all the crap hits the fan, I want you to bequeath it to him and just watch what happens and help him and see what goes. He was also bequeathed this box here, this black box. And he was told, Lushu, now I send you this box. What's inside? You'll never know. No matter what happens, you're never allowed to open it. You're never allowed to open it, ever. Well, is it supposed to witness something like the Keyblade? No, just carry the box around and never open it. Cool? Cool. Keep in mind, and this is kind of speculation stuff because we don't know that much. Keep in mind, this is the same dude who knew darkness, knew it personally as the embodiment it was, and instigated his apprentices to fight each other, get darkness going, and cause this whole issue in the first place. And this is the man handing to his apprentice a box and saying, "Don't open it, lol, 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 lol." I'll leave it at that for that. So, what happened? Well, war did. What happened was, by their own nature, and this is a very, very, very wonderful, very, very wonderful play on humankind and our depravity, which is real, because of the doubt sowed by the incomplete roles and the lack of a shepherd of abandonment and neglect that Mom had created, his apprentices, the 4 at least, not Foxgirl and Luciu, they ended up facing each other in war as the phantoms of darkness danced before their eyes, cast from their own shadows, and they all fought each other in what is known as the Great Keyblade War. So wait, they caused their own problem. Yes, he caused the problem, but he did it to get things in motion, because he was worried about darkness coming, and fear does that great. As the war raged and Keyblade wielders fell to each other, the great essence known as Kingdom Hearts was summoned, and all the hearts vanished into the void. Kingdom Hearts is... What is Kingdom Hearts? Funny enough, that's one of the hardest things to answer in this whole freaking series. And if you got theories, please feel free. I'm doing the best I can. Nomura never gives us a straight answer, because of course he doesn't. Just like no one gives a straight answer about the Force in Star Wars and stuff. From what we understand, Kingdom Hearts is the birth of all worlds. It is the spring of Eden, if you will, where true light, the original light, came from. And the darkness, because light existed, erupted as well. It is the bursting point of creation in this fictional universe, not real life as we know by God's law. The warring factions wanted to see who could, in order to conquer each other and instill peace the way they knew needed to be done, the darkness building in their hearts, spurring them to do so, sought out Kingdom Hearts by facing each other and eventually succeeded at the cost of their own lives. And at the end of all this, Luciu, like he was told, just chilling there, holding, the Keyblade with him, as, his master said in the box there. And, he bails whenever time's up, And because of the conflict of light and dark and all the darkness erupting from the hearts, and the darkness itself spreading as it said it wanted to into the hearts, into the worlds broke apart and entered into the fractured planes of light, the beacons of light in the murky darkness between that we know from all of the games. Everyone happy now? The very thing we decided to not do, we did? How about that? How's that gone? How are we doing with that? Ugh. This here broke up all the worlds, so each one had its bit of light that it held, as well as the darkness in between that now created an immovable void between each other. And as the worlds grew in time, people forgot about what used to be that old Pangea of light, of fantasy, and live in their own worlds with their own lives. But what about the Keyblade wielders? What about the Dandelions? Wasn't that Foxgirl supposed to do that? Yes, she was. In order to do so, the hearts that were left behind with the Dandelions were secured in a simulated world, a recreation pocket space. Remember the cream filling between? In there, because the world of light broke, right, and the darkness overtook, so now the world of light's kind of broken up into multiple light areas with darkness kind of all in it. And so in the cream filling between, in a pocket safe space, all of the hearts of the Dandelions were placed for safekeeping until they could be released into the world. Well, who's going to oversee this? Obviously, the previous leaders didn't do a very good job. Well, new leaders showed up. And they, realizing where they were put there in a simulated plane, in order to hold the hearts there, were there to make sure everything was okay. We have Skuld, the sweet, empathetic girl who had a good heart and tried to keep everyone together. Ephemere, the strong-willed, bright-hearted leader who kept light and hope up even when things got dark. The amazing, awesome, best boy Brain, brains of the operation, the swagtastic man right here, the best, the most amazing guy. I love Brain. He's awesome. He freaking did everything for them. He's amazing. A young, bright, but a little bit of doubtful boy named Ventus. He's important, remember him. And Laurium, a coiffed, beautifully ephemeral boy of skill unmatched, who was called to also be a leader. These, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 were called to be the new leaders and chosen of the Dandelions as they were in the simulation playing out their lives to make sure everything's okay and to ship everyone to the future when the time comes. In the digital space. Unfortunately, one of these individuals has had darkness possess them. Because remember, what is darkness's main goal? Everyone together? To spread and corrupt. Very good. And because darkness burst out and all the worlds faded and everything, one of them hitched a ride with one of our new leaders here. And in that is hoping to gain a grasp on the future and the light sent there in the Dandelions to spread even further to the hopes that they have for such. Cue Among Us jokes. Devismo, howdy, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Devismo. I'm doing good. I'm very blessed. We are doing the Kingdom Hearts Chronicle recap again for the final time, probably before we start 3 next week. So strap in for this. Ugh. So, what ended up happening after a long series of sequence of events? Darkness had accidentally sequestered its heart, not accidentally, but it sequestered its heart inside Ventus. Ventus was possessed before the worlds broke, was possessed by darkness and took out the leader who was supposed to be in his spot. Literally killed in cold blood. Eventually darkness showed itself, but with everyone forgiving Ventus and light and love, true love of forgiveness and camaraderie of fellowship, was able to fight back the darkness in order to do what it could to keep it trapped. Now, this darkness sequestered itself inside Ven anyway, but we won't talk about that yet. This was a true fracture of darkness, by the way. So, with the world falling apart. Oh yeah, remember that digital space? Yeah, it began falling apart. Yeah. So, the data world got infested with darkness. Go fig. Because it crept in from Ventus, and what does darkness want to do, everyone? Spread and corrupt. Just as the Bible verse speaks of, the enemy has come only to kill, steal, and destroy. And in real life, we know the enemy, Satan and his followers, as well as sin and those who follow, want to do nothing but spread hurt and pain and selfishness there. Darkness wants to do the same in this kind of fantasy world. Yay, parallels. So, because the simulation was getting infested, and things were falling apart, once again, the world of light, the simulated version of it, was breaking apart. Oh, look, history repeats itself. In order to save what was left, the Master of Masters had prepared these pods. These pods here go to the future! UFO comment? I'm not going to do this. They're very delicate, mystical stuff. And they're the last hope for the Dandelions, the ones who can, to take the light to the future for what was left. So, the problem is, can we count, everyone? How many pods do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's broken, and this one's broken. Okay, cool. So we have 5 pods. Awesome. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a friend of this dude who also got here at the right place, right time, wrong place, wrong time, whoever, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so there are 5 pods. How many Dandelions are there? Oh, I don't know, hundreds. Oh, yeah, that's not good. So, Brain, being the big brain, awesome, amazing dude he is, the best, awesome, one of the best characters in the entire series, Brain, my boy, made the hard decision and said, okay, we have 5 pods, and there are 5 of you here. We want to save the dandelions, but we know that that's not possible yet. So, I'm going to pull a Master of Masters, but in a good way, because I'm not going to be a selfish little fear douchebag, and I'm going to take the sacrifice and stay here as darkness overtakes. As the ship sinks, the captain will go down, the first mate, because really, Iframir's the captain. The rest of you, I'm going to use these pods to shoot you into the future. And one by one, they got shot forward. Now, these pods, I want to make this very clear, outside of one other time, which we will not see for actually a little bit. These are a very special way of time travel. It just shoots you to the future. You wake up there and you don't remember anything, okay? Everyone got that? Okay, you'll never see these pods again except for one other time. Don't worry about them. This is the only time. You don't have to worry about that. It's a one-time thing. Besides that, one more, and we'll get there. Not now, but later. You got you to the future and you forget what you knew, okay? Great, cool. All right, so as the ship's going down, you may notice this guy, Luciu. This is not Master of Masters, this is Luciu. Luciu shows up and says, hey, Brain, come with me. I know I'm not supposed to observe, but come with me. I'm going to make sure things go well. And the two of them disappear. What happens? We don't know. There's a game coming out called Missing Link that covers a little bit of that. We don't have it yet. I'm not covering it here. Doesn't matter. So the point is, the 5 that we saw got shot to the future, and they are the only remnants from the old world left. And the rest of the dandelions, overtaken by darkness, were melded with their hearts in order to be protected in that in-between space, asleep and waiting for someone to come. And with that, the deep lore is done. But those pods I mentioned were the old prototype way of time travel in the world of Kingdom Hearts. Wait, there's more time travel? Oh, yes! There's more. Those pods were a one-time use. They broke after using. You're not going to see them again. Okay? Great. Except for one more time. Don't worry about it. Technically, too. Maleficent used it once. Don't worry about that. No one cares. She knew about stuff because she used it. Don't worry about it. Those pods were the all-time time travel. There is a more convoluted, unique way of doing it. And before we go any further in this wonderful story of concepts, narrative, and hearts of light, we need to understand how that works, because Nomura just doesn't want to leave complicated concepts alone, now does he? He just like time travel. I haven't used that. Oh, let's make that an important part of the story. So, let me try as much as I can to give you a simple and clean, explanation of time travel in the world and dimension of Kingdom Hearts. Or at least the best you're gonna get, because once again, and I'm taking this time for anyone, sit down or go off, get some water, and come back, because here comes rant time, Icarus rant time, everyone excited? Because as we all know, and as truth is always said, unless it's the core or a major core part of your story, you should never, ever, 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 ever introduce time travel, because it creates paradoxes, it undoes development, and it makes things not important because you can just go back and say, wait, we can undo that because you've established that now. And unless it's the main core of it, there's not an anchor point for a character, because if anyone's seen Steins Gate, Hoenn Kyouma, the professor, the main character of that series, is the anchor. Wherever he went, that's the timeline that exists. Subaru for ReZero, the player for Undertale, some of the only time travel stuff I actually like, and it's established how that works. Whenever you don't have that, and it's not the core aspect of your story, which in all 3 it really is, think about Undertale, it is, it doesn't work, because timelines exist on different characters, and it's, wait a minute, now hold on, which one's real? Because both the characters are being followed here, so which one exists? Pablito, time travel only works with simultaneous causality. I know, and I hate that. Because with simultaneous causality, what the heck is the point of anything happening? Because if everything's happening at once, a death or a triumph for a character doesn't mean anything, because in another timeline, it could have not happened, and the same character who we've grown accustomed to and love and seen them overcome their hardship and great development. Oh, he's a villain here and became terribly depraved. I mean, it's a good statement on human morality outside of the Lord's love, because that's how we are, but that's not a good story. Fight me. Unless it's all co-meaning. Good luck getting that to work. Multiple timeline leading to God. I mean, if you could do it, fine. Unless it's the core of a story, I strongly recommend never doing it. I hate time travel. I despise it. Daedalus loves it, and I don't understand it, and I will never understand it. I like straight stories, the beginning, middle, end, and good development and narrative based upon it. That's how I am. You will learn this about me. If you don't think that way, that's perfectly fine. I am so glad you're allowed to enjoy it. More things to enjoy means more happiness and joy in one's heart. This is a good thing. Don't be like me and enjoy things. As for me and my house, this is dumb and stupid and gets convoluted dumb. Avengers Endgame and Back to the Future all the way. Yes. Right. Yes. Ha. I'm going to hold my mouth. Okay, all right. So now that my rant is done, all right? And for good reason, because even more so for Kingdom Hearts, we already have all these crazy, up to this point in the story, which has only covered these phone games, we already have the concept of light and darkness. We have the concept of Keyblades. We have the concepts of Chirithy, which we didn't even touch on, so don't even worry about that. We have the concept of, like, Book of Prophecy aspects. We already have a bunch of concepts, and now he's like, time travel. And we're not even into the mainline games yet, guys. Nomura, I love you. Your concepts are so good. Stop adding them. Nomura is the kind of guy who, I always said this, is a metaphorical conceptual bar, where the bartender handing out metaphorical drinks representing cool, interesting concepts needed to go, no, I'm cutting you off, man. That's enough. Well, I need more. No, you have enough. You have enough in your story. You don't need more conceptual aspects of reality. You're good. I'm cutting you off. Oh. The true meaning. I don't believe in prophecies or concepts for that fact. Well, you're going to have to accept it here because the Book of Prophecies had it, and that's why the Master of Masters did what he did. Or just count him as crazy and he did it. That's fine too. You can do that, because if you've seen him in the game, he is weird. Okay. So, time travel, okay? Rant's over. All right. For the world of Kingdom Hearts, besides the pods, which is a very specific one, you won't see it again besides one other time. Technically, Beneficent used it. Don't worry about it. There are few ways to time travel. Very few. All credit goes to Reddit on our Kingdom Hearts. This link here, feel free to go look at it. It explained time travel. They did a beautiful job. The creator is gone from the link now. It's a very old post, but not very old, but old enough. But it does work, and it is good. I checked out, and yeah, this is how it works. So it is pretty good. Go there if you want more. So here's how time travel works in Kingdom Hearts. Not counting the pods and Timeless River, okay? Timeless River in Kingdom Hearts 2, for anyone who doesn't know, there's a door that leads to old Rubber Hose cartoon, back in the day, that kind of place, which actually was back in time, and they did a little adventure there. It's the best world in any Kingdom Hearts game. I stand by that. It's so much fun. That is technically time travel. They touch on it. It's very specific. Never used again, ever, 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 ever again. The entire series. Why even use it then? Whatever. Don't worry about that one. All right. So, how to time travel in Kingdom Hearts, aside from Pod and Timeless River, don't worry about that, because that's very specific, very... All right. In order to time travel in Kingdom Hearts, an individual, a being, must discard their body and become just a heart. So, let me explain that. Beings in the world of Kingdom Hearts are understood as having a body and a heart. The heart is basically the soul, the mind-connected part, reality, the soul, the spirit that God has given us. Just with its own light, which, And the body is the body, the physical aspect that houses the soul, houses the heart. When I say soul, heart, same thing. In order to time travel, an individual must have separated their body and heart and become just their heart, just their soul. They must exist as just that. Basically, a singularity in existence because it's just the soul. Okay? Just the heart. This can be done through a myriad of ways. 1. Extracting the heart with a keyblade. Lots of skills needed for this. Like, you see it done by Big Boy, which we'll see, and Master Masters could do it. We're talking like real dark magic, like real high skill stuff. Very difficult to do. Obviously, no one can just like do it easy. 2. Why is there a 2-2? Whatever. Becoming a heartless. Heartless. Whenever a person loses their heart, the heart gets corrupted by darkness, because they basically die in a way, and they become a heartless, a being fraction. Remember that, the entity of darkness? Remember how it wants to spread and corrupt? As it spread and corrupt, it lost its sense of self and has fractured into a bunch of pieces. These bunch of pieces are the little heartless you see in the games. Heartless themselves are the void of the heart, so it counts. Because a heartless is the heart separated from the body, existing on its own. It's corrupted by darkness and just acting on that instinct to corrupt and spread, but it is a heart by itself. So anyone who's become a heartless and returned from such, we'll get there, can technically time travel. If an individual becomes just a heart, whether it's they removed it by forcing it out in a weird way, super amounts of skill, or heartless, at any point in their timeline of life, at any time whenever they exist as an individual before death, true death, every other version of themselves, nobody, younger self, older self, we'll get to nobodies, don't worry too much, any part of their essence of identity, whether it's separated by age or conceptual removal of space from their own identity, things like that, can technically gain the ability to move through time as well, because they're the same individual. We have to understand it as God sees our heart. He exists outside of time, and he sees us as we are in a singularity, as we are fully in the end. He knows time, but he sees us as our heart truly is, which time moves and flows, but the heart is eternal. Our soul is eternal in real life. And the Lord, and the Lord sees that. In this series, the heart is eternal as well. It's kind of like the soul. And so any part of the physical aspect, the the temporal aspect of a person, when they live, counts as that heart. That is, whenever it's removed from everything, becomes a singularity. Okay? Without being just a heart, however, if another, like let's say there's the earlier version of someone, right? Like teenage years. Let's say whenever they're old, they became just a heart, right? Well, their younger self isn't just a heart, it's a person. So that individual, the younger self, who is not just a heart, will require assistance to move through time, because they're not just a heart at that point. It basically translates to the just a heart version, or some powerful, amazing guide who has time travel capabilities in some way, or high amounts of magic, Yen said in Kingdom Hearts, has to guide them to get them jump started to jump. Does that make sense? It's like they have to get them a DeLorean for something. Vitruvian, hey, Panama Red, take it easy. Take it easy. Look, it's time travel, right? You're not going to see me take it easy. You heard my rant. And this just complicates, because Kingdom Hearts is already so convoluted. If we didn't introduce this in Dream Drop, we wouldn't have needed. For what we're doing in Kingdom Hearts 3, we didn't need time travel. You could have just put pieces of himself out there like Horcrux, and you'll never hear me say that again. Whatever. It's in. We have to deal with it. So the point is, if someone has lost their heart and become just a heart, that single entity, at some point in their life, doesn't matter when, all aspects of themselves as an individual can now time travel. But if you don't have help, and you're not just a heart, then you need help to do so. Someone has to help you, like yourself from the future, for example. But you read Kingdom Hearts 4 trailers and get me hyped for it. I'm interested to see where it goes. No more talk of that, though, if it's okay, just because that's past where we're going to be. We'll be there when we're done with Kingdom Hearts 3. So no talk of 4. We're not there yet. Okay. So, rules for moving through time travel. There are, outside of Timeless River and counting the pods, there are specific rules, nebulous and bended as they may be at times as needed, to travel through time. All right? If you're just a heart, that's where you can travel, right? Or if you have assistance because you were just a heart at some point in your reality, all right? But there's rules. You can't just do whatever you want, even though... Number 1, the first rule. An individual can move backwards or forwards in time, but there has to be a version of themselves at their destination. For example, let's say I'm here, right? I am 31 years old. Let's say I remove my heart to become just a heart, right? I separate it from my body, whatever, and now I can time travel, right? As just a heart, right? Right, cool. So let's say I go back to 21-year-old myself, okay? In order to go back in time, I need to go to a place where I exist. So at 21 years old, it would have been home or my college. I don't remember. Let's say 19. I'll change that. Let's say 19. I would have been at my college, my first college. I would have been able to time travel to my first college where I was, because there is a semblance of myself there. So I can be there. That's how it works. I can't go back in time to 1920, or I can't go back in time to 2007, but yet be over in Panama or something, because I didn't exist there. I'm not there. I can only go where I've been. So my home, the college, and a bunch of fast food locations. That's pretty much what I'm limited as. Wow, my time travel venues are very limited. I'm not allowed to go many places, am I? God, I need to get out more. I need to expand my time travel vacation options. So you have to have a version of yourself there. Number 2, when done with time traveling, after your wonderful, great romp through time, after you do whatever you're doing through time travel, going back there, I don't know, getting that old, snow cone from that place that's shut down and you'll never see again, but man, it tastes so good. One last time. After your great time travel romp, once you return, all memories, like the pods, this is like the pods that we saw, all memories are lost of what you did. You won't even realize you time traveled. However, the experience of what happened is etched into your heart, which back then I was like, that's stupid. So basically they intuitively know and follow the course that they set for themselves. Like your heart has intuition to follow, which is kind of dumb, but with the Book of Prophecies, we'll kind of get to it. But you're reading. Technically, with time travel, you've traveled to a parallel universe, so the alternate version of you could be in Panama. Yes, but here's the thing. Yes, but in this, and here's the thing with that. Hold on. Number 3, this answers your question for Kingdom Hearts, for this fictional universe that Nomura has thrown together in insanity. When time traveling, one cannot change what is destined to happen. Now, whenever this was originally stated, I was like, oh, so a catch-all to let Nomura happen whatever happens. And it is. However, I will give him credit, ouch, that hurt, because basically it's saying you can't undo what's written here. The Book of Prophecies, remember, has everything that's going to happen. So time travel, what it says is, basically when you cannot change what is destined to happen means there are no alternate timelines, because what's going to happen will happen. Kind of like predestination kind of thing. So whatever one does is just following the book as it's going to be. So whatever happens is how it's going to occur. which gets weird with what we're going to cover in 3. Well, that is weird. I think, oh my god, I don't care. We're going to try. And that's why here, though the experience is etched into your heart and you intuitively know to follow, that's because it's going to follow the Book of Prophecies, right? Right? Okay, great. So basically, when you time travel, you're just going to fulfill what this says you're going to do. So it's going to happen anyway. Which, to be fair, is true for any time travel story because it bends on itself with paradoxes and anything's going to happen anyway, and it gets weird anyway because time travel doesn't work because it doesn't exist in real life because what is set is set and the hearts of man are made to... Devismo, this is ridiculous. Are you making all this up? How dare you, Devismo? How dare you? First off, you know how much I freaking hate time travel. Do you think I would ever touch this with a 10-foot pole? Let me tell you, I've done stories before. Many. And I am not using any time travel at any point in my life. Aside from very small temporal rewinds for an area, think Echo from League of Legends, where you have like a little temporal space that you do, but it's only like limited to like a few seconds. So it's kind of get the idea of cool time travel rewind, but you don't mess with actual like reality and stuff like that because that's stupid. And also, you blame Nomura for this. Don't blame me. Don't bring this to me. Bring Nomura into this. Go look him up on YouTube and Google. Find out what his contacts are, and you send your angry letters. I'll follow behind you. Because he introduced this shit when he didn't need to. Because the whole reason this was introduced was for a reason we're about to see very soon. And I'll tell you when we get there. And it could have been done in a different way, and you don't have to do it through time travel, whatever. Yes, it's ridiculous. Yes, he made it up as he went along. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, look, I love Kingdom Hearts. You all know whenever I get upset at something, it's because I actually love it. I don't get upset about Star Wars going stupid in certain ways, like whenever Rise of Skywalker came out, because I don't care about Star Wars. I don't mind Star Wars. I think it's fun. But I'm not a big fan. I'm not like a big super fan. So if it goes bad, it's like, oh, well, that sucks. I bet some people are really upset. I'm sorry, guys. Because I don't care that much. I care about Kingdom Hearts. Stop ruining the series you made. It's so many good concepts, but yeah, he does this shit. Okay. This is how time travel works. Okay? Okay. Good. Great. No questions? No? Great. Cool. Don't ask any. Thank you. Moving right along. So, that's how time travel works. Okay? Great. Cool. Everyone's got it. All right. So, this brings us to Kingdom Hearts Union Dark Road. Another phone game. That's right, we're not done with the phone games yet, everyone. You know, the deep lore that's really important was in a pay-to-win phone game. Thanks, Nomura.
What the crap were you doing out there?
All right. Many years later, this is after the pods were sent out, after the simulation fell to darkness, the worlds were fractured in their own pocket spaces, totally oblivious to everything other world because that was eons ago and no one remembers. There was a boy born not on Destiny Islands, but on a different land and brought to Destiny Islands. Very important. He was not born on this beach. He was not born here, which disqualifies him for something. But whatever, it doesn't matter. This man came to this world and was raised on a tiny island known as Destiny Islands. How on the nose. And his name was Xehanort. Everyone memorize the name. Or don't, because you're going to see it so many times it's going to be bled into your head. All right? All you need to know about Kingdom Hearts is either everyone is Xehanort or everyone is Sora. We will get there. But there you go. Keep that in your mind. You're going to be great. All right, so this guy is very important for the overarching story, at least for this saga, which we will be finishing in this part of the Chronicle for the end. This is the end of his saga. We're getting to get there. This man we'll be seeing a lot of, as I said, and he has a special power. Okay? He has a heart of light like everyone else. He has a body, blah, 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 blah. And he has a special X factor. For anyone who doesn't know, whenever I refer to X factors, I refer to it in fiction as a power that an individual has that no one else in their category or anyone else in the world has access to. Think Nine-Tailed Fox inside Naruto. Think Kurosaki-senpai from Bleach. Literally everything about him. Don't want to spoil. I've been waiting 10 plus years. Don't dare say a word. I will kick you faster than you can say, Nomura, what are you doing? And stuff like that. Okay? Great. Cool, cool. One for all of the Deku. Great, cool. Right. he has the X factor. He has the ability to see into and connect directly with the hearts of others, as he did from Reincarnated Racism. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So, the point is, he has the special ability to look into and connect directly with hearts. Now, normally that's not possible. Normally, people in this fictional world connect like we do. They talk to people. They grow stronger with one another. You know, standard fellowship, all that. He has a special ability that lets him connect to the hearts of others directly and to feel like super empathy and forced empathy onto others. And he is the guy who sets all of this in motion. You know, after the Master of Masters, he's the next dude. Maybe he's the Child of Destiny, because the Child of Destiny, the only thing we know about the Child of Destiny, which is very rarely talked about from Nomura and mentioned in like the phone game in this part of the story, and that's like it. It was mentioned in Union Cross, but so barely. The only thing we know about the Child of Destiny who will defeat darkness, remember that whole thing? The reason Master of Masters started this whole thing is that he will have this ability, right, to connect to the hearts of others. This Xehanort's not the only one who has this ability. There are others who have had it. I bet the Master of Masters does. I don't know. But in order to be a candidate for it, you must have it. Okay? Great? Cool. So, this boy was raised, not born, on this tiny island. And he thought it was just too small. And his heart yearned for adventure. One day, he was visited by an individual, a mysterious entity in a brown cloak. This entity, oh god, here we go. Did you think time travel was gonna already screw stuff up and make it convoluted? Because here we go! This is Xehanort. This boy. This is him from the future. Gosh, you didn't have to do this. This is him from the future. From Kingdom Hearts 1, we'll get there. This is his Heartless. Because, oh no, he lost his heart then. So he's allowed to time travel as a heart. You get the idea. This is his Heartless. Time traveling to himself. Remember, you only time travel to where you were in the past or future. Time traveling to himself to put himself on the right path. And as he came back, he did a few things for himself. He met himself and he said, hey, there's going to be something crazy going down. You're going to be the center of it. You're the Child of Destiny. This is going to be great. I'm you. I'm going to impart to you. I'm going to give you assistance. Remember? Assistance to be able to time travel. Okay? So this Xehanort, young Xehanort, has now been given assistance to be able to time travel. Remember, to time travel in Kingdom Hearts, you have to either be a heart only, which this thing is. This is a Heartless, as a heart only, so he can. Or you have to have assistance given to you and you can do it, technically. So that's him. Oh, given assistance. Great, cool. And because he is him, he can time travel. Great, cool, great. Okay. So he gives him the time travel and puts him on the right path. You know, the destined path. He then is able to time travel without becoming just a heart because he had assistance from his just a heart self. Yes, time travel's already making things worse, and we barely started. Nomura, thank you very much. I hate you for this. Alright, so his older self, as a Heartless, came back and gave him the ability to time travel assistance is given. However, remember, once that happens, they both forget about what happened. Remember? The rules of time travel. Rules of time travel. They both forget. Okay? Great. Cool? Great. Awesome. So he has the assistance now, but he doesn't remember that this happened. But I missed us 10 minutes. Can you start over? I love you. No, go back and watch the VOD. It'll be on YouTube. I'm not doing this the last time. I love you. No. This isn't my job. I don't get paid for this. So no. No, thank you. You can unsubscribe. I love you. But no, I'm not doing this again. I'm not giving him any more time. So he has assistance now. Okay, great. So he gives him the assistance and he opens up a dark portal, a dark corridor, which is festering with darkness. And remember, darkness is only agenda. What is it again, everyone? There are two things. Are you ready? Spread and corrupt. Very good. So this is a corruption portal if he walks through. And young Xehanort's like, I'm strong enough to do this. I'm going to see other worlds. and walks through. Gee, I wonder if he got corrupt as he did so. Sits around this beat, and then he leaves. This boy leaves. This Heart Xehanort, because he's in a place where he's existed before, sits there and waits for years in the burning hot sun as just a heart, twiddling his thumbs, waiting for two very special boys to arrive. Sora and Riku will get there. Because their plan's already set. Remember, he's on an agenda set way further in the slides. I hate time travel. So, young Xehanort heads off, forgets about this guy, doesn't matter, it's etched into his heart, we all know how that works, and heads off. He goes to the darkness portal and makes it through, and ends up in this beautiful world he's never seen. And it is beautiful. It is very beautiful. Called Cad Estalum? Stalamakalum? We'll see it. Don't worry. We'll see it. Don't worry about it. He ends up in this beautiful world. And he meets his new best friend, Ericus, a young, new Keyblade trainee warrior who is enamored with light and standing up for what's right, and the law, and what is, by the law and righteousness, light. I'm sure that won't cause an issue of rift between the two of them. So, he is the super duper great grandson of our bestest boy, Brain. Remember Brain? The dude who saved the simulation and shot the dandelions forward and sacrificed himself? He was a freaking best man, and I love him. He's the great super grandson, so he should be awesome, right? Kind of. And Xehanort is in the lineage of Ephemera. Remember Ephemera, the leader in those old leader guys? Remember him? Xehanort's from his lineage. So cool. He's from a really good dude too. They're best friends. This will be awesome. The two became bestest friends, which is very true. They did. They became bestest friends and rivals who will never ever fall apart. Because Brain and Ephemera never did. Brain sacrificed himself for him. So I'm sure something wonderful and just beautiful in friendship and fellowship will happen between the two of these. The more like strategies, guys. You ready? Okay, cool. So, the two of them entered a special class for Keyblade wielders. Wait a minute, I thought the Keyblade wielders were gone. Some of the knowledge, I guess through passing through the portal, remember the pods, got passed on. Ancient legends, and there was a Keyblade. There was a little Keyblade group being made here. This is where they existed. This is the only place where Keyblade wielders existed, now at this time. And, oh look, what's this? You guys recognize this one? You have to zoom in a little bit. Go ahead. Do that Control Plus on your screen. Does anyone remember this one? Oh, that's weird. Why is this Keyblade here? That's odd. I guess it's watching everything. Why is that happening? So all of them are trained to become Keyblade wielders underneath their master. Moved on. No, that's great. Must have gotten passed on to them. Gee, I wonder how Keyblade wielding got passed on. By the way, this is Lucio. Spoilers. I told you there'd be spoilers. This is Lucio. Remember Lucio? This is him. He's infiltrated, and he's watching and brought the Keyblade to watch over these guys and see if there's going to be any of these. There's going to be a Child of Destiny. Also, he's probably the one who brought the Keyblade and then passed on the data for how to become Keyblade wielders, and that's how it got started. Great, cool. Here he is. All right, cool. Still watching, waiting, still doing his duty. Remember him? Great, cool, awesome. All right. So, they all trained together and went on wonderful adventures, and everything was beautiful until it wasn't. Nomura is just allergic to happy endings, guys. You're going to get used to it. This is the first of a lot of them. Actually, the second. Remember, the worlds fell apart and everything was terrible. Kingdom Hearts is not always happy. It's not. It's really not. Nomura doesn't like it. Nomura just doesn't like people being... It's like, bittersweet is so good. Let's have that black coffee and taste in your mouth. Welcome to the depravity of the fallen world. Oh, yeah. No, truly happy endings. Ready, guys. So this is where we are. Long story short, a bunch of stuff happened. Another individual who had the ability to touch hearts and everything, could have been Child of Destiny, went bad, gave in to fear. Everyone died. It was horrible. And the only ones left, besides the Master Dude, which I think was left off somewhere, were Ericus and Xehanort. And it was not happy. And it was really bad, and darkness prevailed in a way which is very, very heartbreaking. And the other students are dead. They're all dead. I hope you like seeing them because you'll never see them again. They're dead. they're gone. Congratulations. Why is there so much loss in this? Why does he do this? So, Xehanort's like, all right, I'm going to go on a journey, learn about myself. I already went on one earlier whenever we all went through the worlds. I'm going to go by myself this time because isolation is totally a good brewing ground for positive future and not become evil. It'll be great. And Icarus is like, yeah, you go do that, buddy. You process some stuff. I'm gonna go become the new Keyblade Master, and you take the big, amazing Keyblade with the eye in it, totally not unnerving. We'll be fine. Also, breaks. I remember Luciu's still here. Bushy's still. I remember Luciu. He's watching. He's like, he survived, and he's in shadow. Everyone thinks he's dead. He's like, definitely not the child of destiny. I don't see it in this dude here. There's too much darkness and weird stuff, but maybe he could be useful. Maybe this could be a good thing. I should probably go on ahead and give him Mom's Keyblade. Let's do that. So he does so. And wouldn't you know it, in his travels, as Xehanort is vulnerable, hurt, grieving, and alone, all the wonderful recipe for things going terrible in people's lives. Take it from me. I'm a licensed clinical counselor, and let me tell you, that is a brewing ground for not good choices, and he runs into someone very, very special. Technically, he ran into him before, but I'm not covering the first one. We'll see it later. It's fine. This guy shows up in this cloak. Hey, that's Luciu, right? No. Luciu gives him off screen. We don't see that. This guy shows up, and he's like, hey there. You seem pretty strong in the heart. You're, like, awesome. I've felt it whenever I first met you, and now again. Man, it looks like some bad stuff happened, but I bet you could overcome the darkness of the world. You're strong enough. Feed the pride. Feed the pride. Here's this cloak. The cloak that protects against darkness. You need it for now, but eventually you won't need it. And Xehanort's like, well, I technically walked through a dark portal once before, and I've been pretty strong. It's like, yeah, see? You use the cloak for now, and then you won't even need it later. You just need a little more training. Then you're going to take it off and be able to walk in the darkness like it's nothing, like a field of flowers. It'll be great. I can't take mine off, though. I'm too scared. And Xehanort looks at it and goes, you know what? I've seen the prequels. Maybe Anakin's argument wasn't too bad. Maybe if there was someone strong, powerful, prideful, and incredible in heart that could overcome the darkness, he could rule and make sure no one else had to get hurt. I think I'm that guy. Yes, you are, buddy. By the way, I'm the Lost Master, Masters. Okay, bye! Yeah, that was Master Masters. He showed up once just to instigate again to go, what if you did this to get darkness going? But remember, he's against darkness. He wants to defeat it one day. So surely he's doing the right thing because ends justifies the means, right? If anything disproves that theory, it's all of this Kingdom Hearts story, let me tell you. So Xehanort goes, okay. And decides, I'm going to conquer darkness by wielding it because I know that I'm strong enough to do so. And Ericus don't take that too well. And the two of them had a break in their friendship and split from one another. And he's very sad. Now on his own, you're not supposed to see this stuff. The PowerPoint's messing up. Wait, I'm doing the best I can. Xehanort has a plan. This plan is the convoluted crap that we're going to see unfold as we go forward. This is why time travel's here. Now on his own, a young Xehanort begins to set the plans in motion. He starts with a jump to the future. Remember, he's able to time travel. Remember, because he had assistance. For a scavenger hunt to gather some very important help. This guy here is this guy later, what we see, okay? The same one, this is the old style of art that was done for the phone game. Sorry. This is the old style of art that was done for the phone games, okay? Great, cool. This is how we see him later in the story, okay? Same guy, just art style. He jumps into the future to gather parts of himself in order to set things in motion. Now, why is he doing this? What's the point of Xehanort's? He's going to conquer darkness, right? He's going to take the Anakin path where I will become darkness and conquer. That doesn't ever work. What is his plan? Well, let me tell you his plan. Xehanort's goal. Keep this in mind. Just like we needed to know time travel before we really got started, we need to know Xehanort's goal. Let me tell you how he has the goal set. He wants to get this. I can't point. I'm sorry. My fingers. Kingdom Hearts. Remember? The heart of all worlds, the connection to the original light, the connection to the spewing and creation of casting darkness. That. He wants that. Okay? Okay. He wants that. In order to get Kingdom Hearts, truly Kingdom Hearts, not impartial ways of getting to it which don't actually work, and you'll see that. In order to do it, you need this. This is the Guardian Key accessing Kingdom Hearts. It is known as the Keyblade. And yes, I know that's confusing. I thought all of them were called Keyblades. They are. Nomura likes symbolism a lot, which I appreciate, but he also does not take into account how confusing this gets. Normal Keyblades are just Keyblades of the heart. They are weapons to wield against the darkness. This Keyblade is spelled with the Greek letter X, key, looks like an X, blade. Key stands for, what does key stand for in Kingdom Hearts? Hold on, give me a sec. Key in Kingdom Hearts stand for, I want to spread good information. Whatever. It stands for like the big Keyblade that gets connected to the big Kingdom Hearts. Okay, great, cool. You need it, all right? It's the true Keyblade, the ancient one that opens the door, okay? Hi, Axel of the Eternal Flames. We're going over Kingdom Hearts in chronological order. You're just here for Xehanort's plan. Please don't spoil anything for Kingdom Hearts 3 or forward, as we are not there yet, but everything up to that point, feel free to. Maybe I'll talk about it till we get to it, though, because we're going to be going through everything, so good to see you. This Keyblade is needed to access Kingdom Hearts. Cool? Okay. How do you get it? Oh, hold on. How do you get it? Well, to get it, you have to make it, conjure it, manifest it, all right? How do you do it? Well, in order to do it, you need 7 strong, pure lights, including the Princesses of Heart, which there are 7 of them, and they're pure light. They don't have any darkness in them. Every heart has darkness except for them. And Ventus will get there. To face off against 13 strong darknesses. Now, these strong darknesses will need to be made up of the original darkness. Remember, the entity himself, the big one original. And it's split off, remember, spread. Remember, what does darkness want to do? Spread and corrupt, right? Cool. So you need to get connected to those. So there's 13 very strong vessels of darkness. People are fine as long as they have it and hardened of heart. And they have the manifestation of the true darkness in them, okay? When these clash, the pieces of the Keyblade that were scattered into oblivion of reality form and manifest into the Keyblade again, which is what Xehanort wants. If he gets a hold, he thinks, if he gets a hold of this, then he'll be able to access this and control everything. And by control, it means no fear, because humanity handles fear by either accepting vulnerability and the love of the Lord, who is the ultimate one in control, and fellowshipping with one another in love and strength and fellowship and kindness, or by manifesting the need for control in order to take control of the world around them so that they don't have to face fear, because if I control it, then I know where everything's coming from, and there's no such thing as fear. Welcome to the world. So this is what he needs to do. Okay, he needs 13 strong darknesses of true darkness and 7 strong pure lights to fight against it. He needs to create another Keyblade war on a small scale, like Master of Masters did. That's why the That's why Kingdom Hearts showed up whenever the big war broke out. Remember that? All the things going up to it. Remember that slide? I don't want to go back. He's basically doing the same thing. So he's interested in creating another Keyblade War, though a smaller one. So he sets his plans into motion. Many more years later, we enter Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. We are finally, how far are we? We are an hour 20 in. 20 of it was set up in devotional, fine. We are basically an hour in, everyone, and we are just now getting to one of the console games. I say console lightly because it started on a PlayStation Portable, which is very sad because Birth by Sleep is actually a very good entry in the series. Anyway, we come to Birth by Sleep, the next entry of the series, the first console main line, and it is a mainline game. Here, we find two individuals that we should know by now. You see, Xehanort, the young man, remember, he jumped into the future and set things in motion. However, when he comes back, because you have to come back to where you were, he started to age. Remember, he forgot about his time travel jump. You can't take that info with you, but it's etched in his heart. He grew up into an old man voiced by Leonard Nimoy, and he was great, man. God bless. And he found a boy named Ventus. Anyone remember him? Remember? He was one of the leaders for the simulation. Remember? He was the one who was possessed by darkness and killed the leader that was supposed to be there and then fought against it, and the darkness was trapped in him, and he was shot to the future. That's him. Now remember, when you're shot to the future, you don't remember anything from the past. So he doesn't remember he's a Keyblade wielder of old. Technically speaking, Ventus, so far and in most of the series, is one of the oldest characters that we know, technically, because he's from that super far in the past. So, he's here, but he doesn't remember anything. But he can draw out a Keyblade, because it's etched into his heart. Xehanort finds him and goes, all the Keyblade wielders I know are dead, besides Ericus, but you exist, and I've never seen you. Cool. Remember, I remember him. Oh, yeah. We need this. He wants this. Remember? He wants this, the Keyblade, to access this, Kingdom Hearts. In order to get it, he has to have 7 pure lights and 13 darknesses clash against each other. But Xehanort, in his old age, is getting older, as you can tell. And he's a super master at this point. But no matter how powerful an individual gets, and this is true for real life, for all the money, fame, and everything that we amass on this temporal plane, death and age come for all. And he knows this. And he knows his time is limited. So he makes a bit of a brash move. He sees Ventus, and he sees strong light, and a very hint of extremely pure darkness in him. Remember, the darkness that possessed him earlier. And he's like, shortcut. So he makes Ventus fight against other beings of darkness, heartless, in order to harness the darkness in his own heart, clash with his light, and make the Keyblade, right? Ventus refuses, the good boy that he is, probably from the memories of what happened before, the etched in memories of, I'm not doing that again. He doesn't remember it, but his heart's against it, which is good. So Xehanort says, that's it, I'm going to force it. So he, with the Master of Masters Keyblade, remember he has that, stabs Ventus and extracts every ounce of pure darkness from him. Ventus's heart has every ounce of darkness, pure and from the way past of the original darkness, remember the big bad one, extracted. This becomes a being unto itself known as Vanitas. This guy here is an embodiment of the original big bad darkness. It's probably one of the closest beings embodying the original darkness that we have in most of the story. And he exists now. But because it was extracted from poor Ventus, he was split in two, pure light, pure darkness, and poor Ventus goes into a coma. Because that's not supposed to happen. He's already had it extracted once, then come back into him, back in the super past, and now it happened again. His poor heart's broken apart. His soul is fractured. He's not in good shape. He's basically dead. And Xehanort's like, crap, I was going to use his pure light to clash. Crap. All right, well, I've got pure darkness here, so that's something. I guess I'll just dump off the remains somewhere else. Where can I dump it? Hey, and he can summon unversed, which are like negative beings of darkness. They should have just been heartless. If he's a being of if he's a being of true darkness, and heartless are pieces of that original darkness, why doesn't he just summon heartless? Why are they these other beings that are heartless but not? And now we have a new concept we have to deal with. This is what I'm talking about. A moron. Whatever. He can summon heartless. They're unversed. I don't care. They're heartless. Moving on. Okay. So he takes Ventus to his old stomping ground. Yes, the place he was raised, Destiny Island. And he drops him off like a deadbeat prom baby. That's very sad. I don't want to say that. Prom night dumpster bingo. Oh, God. Anyone who's seen Family Guy knows the old episode. And he's like, all right, well, this guy's dead. I'll take the True Darkness Vanitas guy and we'll make it work. I got a little impatient. Oops. Oh, well, I'll do it the original way with the 13 and 7 and all that. However, at that time, a small light, Ventus's heart, calls out for help. In vulnerability, in humility, in desperation, calls out for help as its fractured state. And a newborn heart, pure and light, only casting the hints of shadow that will come as life happens, returns the call. And this pure light touches Ventus's heart and communes with it. Well, that's weird. A newborn light shouldn't be, a newborn heart and soul shouldn't be able to do that. Is that normal? No, it's not. This newborn light shares it with Ventus to save him. And spoilers, this is our sweet, wonderful, smiling boy Sora as a infant light of the world. And Sora has the X factor, like Xehanort does, to touch hearts directly. And he uses his before he's even born, before he's even able to walk or do anything, to offer himself as a communion to repair Ventus's heart. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you set up a character for a pure-blooded, amazing, pure boy of hero who does something when he's super young and deserves it. Unlike a stupid, scar-headed, glasses-wearing, putz, individual wand-casting piece of crap from another series who got praised for being the end-all, be-all, better than sliced bread, who did nothing when he was a child and earned everything in the world, even though his parents did everything. This kid did it in the beginning as his own volition and gave up part of himself as a connection and vulnerability to save someone he didn't even know. That's a hero. Suck my everything, Harry Potter, you suck. Fight me. And with this communion, Ventus woke up. However, again, it's basically a condition at this point. Ventus, because his heart was fractured so bad, he doesn't remember anything. His memories are fragmented, or at least way back in the subconscious now, with all the others from way back when. But he now has a connection to Sora. Remember that. Their hearts are connected through time and space because of Sora's special X factor. And Xehanort sees this and goes, I don't know what happened exactly, because he can't feel Sora, because he refuses to open his heart to others. Antithesis of each other. Very good theming. Nomura actually did this well. The old and conjured and keeping selfish to himself with the X Factor. The young, hopeful, and open in heart of the newborn and that of a child, as biblically said, if you have the heart of a child. Oh, look at that. Such good theming. This is where he does good. So he's like, well, this is a unique being here, this Ventus boy, because he now is pure light. He doesn't have any darkness anymore. I extracted it, which is very unusual. That is only capable of the princesses of heart, special individuals who don't have any darkness, bequeathed by the world. But Ventus also does, and that's not normal. I still have Vanitas here. I can make this work. So he takes Ventus to an old friend. And there, Ventus is raised as a Keyblade wielder, even though he kind of already has done it before, with no memories of the past, but is raised underneath Master Ericus, Xehanort's old friend, who's like, all right, I know we had our differences, but you're trying to train this kid, and he's heart, and And Xehanort's like, I don't want to trade him. You know how I am with darkness. I couldn't do that. Even though he just freaking almost killed the dude. He's like, all right, I'll take him in because for old time's sake and because you're trying. And there Ventus is raised and meets his two bestest friends, forming an unbreakable bond as the three train together to become Keyblade Masters underneath Ericus, the new Keyblade Master himself. We have Ventus, the young and naive but kind individual from the super past who now is pure light, the loyal but brooding and struggling with darkness Terra, aka Anakin 3.0, and the reliable, competent, skilled, beautiful, gorgeous, kind-hearted, best mom in the world, one of the best female characters ever created. Nomura, my hat's off to you, Aqua. She will be our savior for the first part and the later parts of the story. Thank you for joining us here. El Hail Mommy Aqua. Okay, cool. We all understand she's amazing. Great, you got it. Cool. Angel Wings, Halo. Great, cool. Awesome, you got it. Great. So, the three train together to become true masters. And as they train, they finally come together for the Mark of Mastery exam. It's basically the exam needed to become a Keyblade Master. Okay, cool. Master Ericus, now old, remember this? This guy is Master Ericus. Remember the old kid from the past, Xehanort's best friend? This is Xehanort. Master Ericus holds it and says, hey, Xehanort, I think let's bury the hatchet, or the Keyblade. Let's bury the dead bodies of our friends. Okay, great, cool. How about you come over and help me preside over the Mark of Mastery? For old time's sake, you and I are like basically the only masters left of Keyblades anyway. We need to raise the next generation. How do you say? And Xehanort's like, well, I'm touched. I humbly accept if you will allow me. All the while going, yes. Let me see what I can do here. Let's see what my old Ventus pure light vessel that's going to fight Vanitas later is going to be doing. Let's see how things are going. So they both show up, and here we go. Master exam is taken. All right, so the exam, it happens, which is the beginning of Kingdom's Birth by Sleep. You fight balls of light and duel each other, and that's basically it. I don't know why that's it. It's weird. Whatever. They must have lost the true procedure in the book, and Ericus is like, oh, this works, sure. Ventus is not participating. He's too young, even though he's been a Keyblade wielder longer than any of these jokers, technically. And it's Terra and beautiful, amazing, awesome, graceful Aqua who is taking the exam. So the exam proceeds. And Aqua, surprise, surprise, beautiful as she is, passes with grace, renown, beauty, amazing, and so just beautiful perfection, as she always does. However, Terra fails. Orchestrated by Xehanort. You see, during the exam, Xehanort manipulated things underhandedly, where Ericus couldn't tell. And because he orchestrated things, Terra's natural darkness, because every heart has it, but his is strong, came out a little bit too much, and Ericus saw that. And based on the past trauma, real trauma, of his friends getting killed by darkness, remember? Ericus is like, nope, you're not good enough. Oh, I see it. And fear, once again, takes hold. Because remember, everyone, even those on the very, very far end of righteousness to hold up what's right can still give in to fear if mercy is not kept. Remember, as God says, mercy, what's it called? Faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. If love is not held for others, including forgiveness and mercy with it, all the gifts of the world are nothing but clashing cymbals and mean nothing. Love must be there. And Ericus loves Terra, but is fearful and is allowing that to take control and said, nope, Terra, you don't pass. So Terra's upset, very, very sad. And then issues and a trial orchestrated by Vanitas underneath Xehanort, remember that's still happening, happens in the world. And it's like, uh-oh, these unversed, heartless, are attacking the worlds. We need to do something. So Ericus is like, all right, Aqua, your Keyblade Master, go take care of it. Terra, this will be another test. If you can pass this, we'll reconsider. Maybe you've got it, because I do love you. So Terra's like, I'm going to go figure stuff out. Am I really that? He enters brooding mode, isolates himself from the others, Remember isolation? Remember what he did? Never good. Don't do that. And goes, am I truly bad? And Xehanort comes and finds them. Much like how the Master of Masters found Xehanort. Remember that, huh? It's almost like the devil and his underlings always find you when you're most vulnerable. Gee, I wonder how that works. And he pulls a Palpatine and says, hey, Terra, I know Master Ericus is scared of your darkness, but he's had a rough past, all right? There's some trauma there, but I see you. And one of the reasons we broke up is I actually don't think darkness is the worst. I think it can be controlled. It's a tool. And one can control oneself and not Terra. I see that. I see something very important in you. A new vessel for myself. I mean, a great vessel of triumph and justice for the future. So I want you to go into these worlds and don't be afraid of your darkness. Embrace it, control it, and prepare yourself for your future where I will take you over. I mean, where you will be in the perfect place where you need to be. And Terra's like, sure, I'm going to go do that. I believe you, Master Xehanort, without wondering about anything. Vanitas shows up and taunts Ventus and goes, ha, your friend Terra's going to follow the darkness. You suck, bitch, can't do anything. And Ventus is like, well, I'm going to go save him, and goes off on his own without thinking. Ericus is like, oh my god. Okay, Aqua, you're the only competent one here. You're beautiful. I love you. You're incredible. Best mom, go take care of the kids and bring them back to me. Make sure none of them die or something terrible happens. And then Aqua's like, sure, I'll go do that. Man, that seems like a rough gig. Hopefully I don't have to do all the rough stuff and big sacrifices in the future. But before she leaves, Master Ericus bequeaths to her what is needed to be a Keyblade Master. She has certain secrets and powers that were given to her as the new mom Keyblade Master. She got secrets and powers, okay? Remember that. So she goes off. And then a little someone shows up from the past. Remember? Our boy was doing a little scavenger hunt and meets up with Vanitas because, he's here. A piece of himself is here. Remember? And he goes, hey, Vanitas, want to go on a temporal time shift road trip? Anyway, meanwhile, in their journeys, there's a bunch of fights. Vanitas taunts Aqua and Ventus. Terra continues to give into the darkness but fight against it. Maleficent learns about different worlds and puts her plans into motion, whatever. Who cares? And eventually, Terra ends up on a certain world. A world that is very familiar to us now and will be in the future even more, called Destiny Islands. And on this fated place, he meets two young boys. Riku and our sweet, now 7-year-old boy, Sora. And here he sees Riku and sees a strong light in him, much like his own, and goes, this kid, I'm basically a Keyblade Master at this point. I mean, I really am. I'm just going to conquer darkness and be fine. This kid's got it. I see something of myself in him. I'm going to bequeath to him a Keyblade. So in order to be a Keyblade Master, in order to be a wielder of a Keyblade, the only ways to do it is you have to be specifically trained and bequeathed by someone who can, or in the super deep lore, technically the world gave him to some of the people for the original. Don't worry about that. That doesn't exist anymore. You have to have it bequeathed, right? Okay. So, and you have to have the ability to wield it. Or be Princess of Heart, to have a really strong light. Technically, that works. That works. So, Terra hands his Keyblade to Riku and says, with this bequeathing, you have the ability now to be a Keyblade wielder. And remember, while all this is happening, just a little tangent here. Remember, Just a Heart Xehanort's at this place. And it's like, yes, I see Terra's on his way to do what he's supposed to do. Great, he's going to become totally not corrupted or anything by darkness. Great, cool. That's going by his plan. These two are having things put into motion. That's great, cool, awesome. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the time to happen. Remember, he's still here. Miss, is this whole stream a recap? Yes, today's is. I'm sorry. We need it, all right? This is long. We're already an hour 40 in. And we haven't even gotten the key. I'm moving, okay? I'm trying. This is abbreviated. So you bequeath the Keyblade to Riku. And Riku now has the ability to wield a Keyblade, okay? Remember, Sora doesn't get the ability to wield a Keyblade. Our sweet boy here did not get it bequeathed to him. Remember that. It is important. He has a bright and strong heart and the X factor to reach out to others and all that, but he doesn't have the bequeathing. Remember that. Riku got it. Cool? Great, cool. Meanwhile, in another world called Radiant Garden, a beautiful world of magic and wonder, very reminiscent of the world as it used to be, Aqua finds a young girl of pure light, which is very unusual. Remember, that's not normal. And remember, this means she's a princess of heart. She's a princess of light. She has no heart. She has no darkness in her heart. Remember, one of the 7 pure ones. Like the 7 pure lights that can clash with the darknesses to make the Keyblade. Remember? Oh, cool. How about that? And she's like, this girl's special. Zappity zoo, boppity boo, I put a protection spell on you. Things go bad, you yeet out of there. You got it? She's like, oh, okay, pretty lady, you're amazing. I trust you like a mother because, gosh, you're amazing. You're just so beautiful. Man, I just want to be like you when I grow up. And she's like, I appreciate that, sweet. I'm very humble, and I'm going to take that to heart. I'm wonderful. Man, Aqua, no bias here. These are only facts. I'm doing facts of the story, so be sure to write that down. Aqua, best mom. Best girl, got it. So she puts a spell on Kairi of a protection. If things go really bad, Kairi's heart will seek out the closest light, trustworthy, strong light, and go to it for shelter. Okay? Cool. That's set in motion. Also, Mickey's here. He's a Keyblade wielder learning to become a master underneath Yen Sid. Yeah, you know, the guy from Fantasia with the hat. Apparently, he was a Keyblade wielder in the past. Just accept it, all right? He was one of the ones that got bequeathed to him. I don't know how. We don't learn that yet. Probably won't ever. Whatever. It's Yen Sid from Disney. Are you really going to question Yen Sid, like the great master of Fantasia? Really? Okay, cool. He's a Keyblade wielder because he's learning. Great, cool, awesome. All right. Things then fall apart. After his journey, Ventus learns about what happened in the past. The memories come back, and he becomes a brooding, sad boy because he realizes he's pure light, and if he clashes with Vanitas, the Keyblade will be formed. And that's not good because then Kingdom Hearts will be accessed and bad stuff could happen. He goes to Ericus, his master, for advice, for consoling, and being the amazing, righteous man of light that Master Ericus is, who has raised Ventus for much of his life now and has a connection of love. He steps forward and does what a good master and mentor would do. Figures that the only way to solve this is to kill Ventus. Because, if the pure light's not there, the darkness can't fight it. Because, bad logic. All right, Nomura, I love you. This is by far one of his worst jumps in the series. I get that fear and trauma of the past can cause some pretty messed up stuff. Trust me, I'm a clinical counselor. I'm a therapist, licensed. I work with trauma. I get it. This is pretty messed up. Okay, fine. So Maricus does a oops whenever he watched Xehanort in the past kill someone in cold blood and went, that's bad. And now he's like, whoa, this is injustice, so I'm going to justify it with that. Surely we humans don't do that a lot. Hello, Pharisees to Jesus. Yeah, we do that. Never mind. This isn't so far-fetched. So he goes to make a bad choice to kill Ventus so that the problem won't happen. Terra shows up at the perfect time. Gee, it's weird he got there at the perfect time. It's almost like someone's orchestrating this. And goes, how freaking dare you, Master? Yeets Ventus out there and says, I will stop you. No wonder you didn't see the power in me because you were corrupt with your light. But with my darkness that I now utilize, I'm able to overcome you and protect my friends. Which the ends justify the means. They don't. And he fights back Ericus. Beats him pretty bad to where Ericus is very weakened right now. And it's like, oh, shoot. He's like, I've seen what I've done wrong. I let fear overtake me. Terra, I see that you're trying to. Maybe the darkness that you have is bad, but maybe we can work together. Maybe love can come between us from mentor to student. And in that fellowship moment where reconciliation starts and everyone's at their most vulnerable, Xehanort says, perfect timing, you did, and shows up, reveals himself and the bad guy, and kills Ericus, his old best friend, in cold blood, finishing him off because remember he's weakened, and goes, hey Terra, you feel bad now? How about you use that darkness? Come kill me. I'm totally not trapped. And eats out of there. And Terra's like, also Xehanort fires darkness in the sky and this whole land that they grew up in starts to crumble. So that's not good. And Ericus, as he's stabbed, vanishes away into light that disperses around Xehanort as his sneer of darkness venerates his face as the light fades from the land. And Terra's like, that's it, you're freaking dead. So, the face-off happens. Terra, Aqua, and Ventus meet up with themselves. Ventus is like, just kill me. The Master is right, I shouldn't exist. We can't let this happen. Aqua's like, no, we can figure this out. And Terra's like, I'll make sure this doesn't. And Aqua's like, I think maybe you're getting a little close there, buddy. And Terra's like, I got this. Pride. Galatians 6, everyone. And Xehanort and Vanitas are like, let's frickin' go. So, face-off. First off, Terra fights against old man Xehanort and beats him back. However, Xehanort empowers himself, being the incredible master he is, and he is strong. It's been years. He's probably extended his lifespan as much as he can. And Terra is just beating back. He can't. But, as he's learned on his travels, if you can't beat him, join him. And he envelops himself in the darkness power that he has and beats Xehanort back within an inch of his life like he did Ericus. Because that went well last time. But the darkness, unfortunately, turns out when an individual gives in to depravity and ends justifying the mean, things start to fall apart because we can't control everything in life. And as a metaphor to that, and we're literal in this world, darkness starts to overtake Terra, and he's like, crap, I can't! Uh-oh! And Xehanort sees the perfect time as his plans come together. You see, Xehanort knows that he's old. And while he can time travel, and at this point I think has learned he can, he knows, even if I can, I have to return back to where I came from, right? Remember, that's the rules. I'm going to be dead soon. I can't do this forever. I'm very skilled. I know how to extract hearts because I did it with Ventus, remember? If a heart exists on its own, who's to say it can't just be placed in something else? He extracts his heart and shoots it into Terra's darkness and Terra's body. And because Terra's darkness is overtaking him, Xehanort's heart enters. And Xehanort, being the more skilled, more powerful entity of the two hearts inside, takes control, grabs the darkness, assimilates it as is needed, and Terra Nort is born. Terra's body is taken over by Xehanort's spirit, his heart, as Terra's is placed in submission below, and the darkness used as shackles on Terra and his heart, as the body is controlled by Xehanort, a young, strong, darkness-powered body. Yeah, you played Terra the whole time. Good job, Terra. Meanwhile, everyone faces off down below. Aqua and Mickey face off against this guy named Bragg. He's probably not important. He was a guy underneath Xehanort's employ. They beat him down. Who cares? However, Vanitas forces Ventus's hand by endangering Aqua and Mickey, and Ventus fights Vanitas. And you know what that means. Yeah, the two of them, forgettable battle, whatever. They fight, and the Keyblade begins to be formed. Amalgamation of light and darkness happens, a crazy bend in reality as things start to fall apart, and Kingdom Hearts begins to be summoned above. And with Kingdom Hearts summoned above, remember, Xehanort's up there in Terra's body going, just waiting. All right, it's almost here. Bring that key up when you're ready. We got this. Looks like his shortcut's about to win. Inside Ventus's heart and Vanitas's heart, the two are fighting. They're shared beings together. Vanitas is just getting stronger, and the Keyblade just keeps getting made the more they fight. So you just don't fight, right? Well, if he doesn't fight, Ventus is going to get forced to make the Keyblades. Vanitas is going to grab there and smack him a bunch and go, make Keyblade, this works. You don't have to want to. This is fine. I can force it. So, with the Keyblade being able to be made, nowhere to turn, trapped in his own body, Ventus makes the big sacrifice. He shatters his heart, which remember has happened before, which splits it in the old seam of scar that was made before, which separates the two of them, the pure light and the pure darkness, away from each other. Fractured. Perfectly in half as it was before, because that old scar is still there. And because of it, the Keyblade that was being formed shatters because it can't happen anymore. And Vanitas is thrown out, and Ventus's heart. Ventus's heart, because it was shattered, leaves his body and is lost. Now remember, whenever a heart leaves the body, a heartless should be made. But because of this unique situation, and Vanitas has all the darkness, he just flies out as himself. No heartless can be made, so Ventus's body just limps as his heart flies away somewhere else. Probably to oblivion, who knows? Or maybe somewhere it knew once before. Well, Aqua, who is the only one left, drags Ventus's lifeless body to her original home. And she uses her incredible, beautiful, amazing magic of, gosh, she's incredible, that she's the only master left, to, besides the incident, to transform the land of departure, their home, that's falling apart into darkness. Remember, that's falling into remember the cream filling between the world of light and the world of darkness? Remember that? It's falling in there. She transforms it into, Castle Oblivion, a very unique space that anyone who enters gets lost in its halls forever and can never find their way through. And hidden somewhere in there, she places, in the Chamber of Waking, she places Ventus's body. Lifeless, without a soul, but not turning into anything or doing anything because it had pure light. It just sits there, and she locks him in. Her being the only way to use a key to open it. And she goes off to try to find her other friend, unaware of what has happened to him at this point. Remember, she is the only one who knows how to access it. Remember, because Master Xehanort may be a master, but he wasn't bequeathed this kind of... First off, he didn't even know where Ventus was put. Second off, he wasn't bequeathed this new technique. Remember, this technique was made for their home. He didn't live there because of his fracture with his old ally in Ericus. Oh, look, the breakings of friendship cost him. How about that? So, he doesn't know how to enter here. No one else does. It's just Aqua. But if she can go back, get Terra, and everything's fine, she'll come back, and she'll find Ventus's heart and she'll revive him. He'll only have to be here for a few days, maybe weeks and months. That'll be fine. Surely that's as long as he'll be there. Well, Aqua, in all of her amazingness, finds Terra and, oh, you're not Terra, are you? And realizes, oh crap, Xehanort took over your body. So, Battle for Supremacy is still happening. Terra, against the chains of darkness, is fighting back against Xehanort. Xehanort's keeping him down because he's stronger, but it's like, gosh dang it, stop it. The rule of two, the law of two, rule of two, anyone for Star Wars. And as the Supremacy battle continues, Aqua fights him off, and Xehanort realizes, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this. Aqua's breathing down my neck. You're fighting back worse than I thought you would, and this could go south, and I don't want that. Vanitas is off somewhere. I don't know where the frick he went, because he got blasted off whenever Ventus and all that. I don't want the Keyblade. Great. All right. I'm about to pull a pro-gamer desperate move. What he does is, he takes his Keyblade, and with it, with his masterful abilities, because he's a ridiculous master, stabs himself and locks his heart into the subconscious of where he is, right? Like into the depths of the reality of his individuality, right? He locks his heart away, the spirit and all. And by locking his, he locks Terra's as well. They're both locked out of control, both of us. And because of the locking heart, darkness opens up below them, leading to the world of darkness. Remember, the world of light, in between world of darkness. Because of all the crap that's going on, a portal opens. That's very rare. That doesn't normally happen. So this means things are real bad. And because their hearts enter into darkness and basically are connected to that world, because they're locked down, it opens up. So he's about to fall in, totally comatose. Because remember, both of them are locked out. So he's just like, remember, he didn't lose his heart. They were locked in. And Aqua, being the amazing, beautiful, incredible, awesome, best mom, just amazing that you are,
beautiful,
pulls the ultimate sacrifice. I'm going to do a pro god move, and sacrifices herself to save Terra, and falls into the realm of darkness herself. Without her Keyblade, her armor, which protects against darkness, think of it like the cloak. They all have armor that does that. She used it to send him out, and her Keyblade. Now she only has Master Ericus's Keyblade and her heart. That's it. And she's falling into the realm of darkness. Remember the other side of the Oreo cookie, the upside down? Remember, if anyone's seen the first season of Stranger Things, she's Will. At least she can fight. And she's down there with no way out. Well, Xehanort, or Terra, or Terranort, as we call him, wakes up with no memories of what just happened. He has no memories of who he is, or anything like that. But he does know his name is Xehanort, alluding to the fact that even though they're both locked away, Xehanort's influence is more prominent. So Terranort's, remember, amnesiac body of basically being a new person, takes on young, anyone recognize this? Doesn't this look familiar? Young Xehanort takes on young Xehanort's personality and traits. It's as if young Xehanort was born again in his old time, but with no memories of anything. I guess the old man got his wish, monkey pod. Actually, he did, yeah, because it's him, but he doesn't have any memories he needs. So, yeah, how about that? And there, Terranort, now amnesiac, loss of all his memories, studies under a man named Ansem the Wise. He's found the Radiant Garden. He's taken under the wing of this man. He's basically the ruler of this world, kind of like the Master of Masters was a long time ago. His name is Ansem the Wise. His name is Ansem the Wise. He's the good guy who studied hearts, and he was very benevolent and didn't like darkness, but wanted to know how hearts work so he could connect people together. Okay, Ansem the Wise. Remember his name, Ansem the Wise. He was a good guy. Remember that. Okay, it's gonna be important. And by the way, Braig's still here. Yeah, remember Braig, who was underneath the old man? He shows up and is like, "Hey, you're old man." And he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, I want to know how to wield a Keyblade. That's what I was promised. Old man, you there? Okay, this must be part of your big plan. I'm going to follow you, and I remember what happened, most part, so I'm going to follow you and be your little assistant to make sure everything goes according to plan, because apparently you got to plan out. And unto all these guys who are underneath and part of the castle guard, these two, and well, some scientists, little scientist boy and old scientist guy, they all work underneath Ansem as well. They're all one happy scientist family. Woohoo. We're going to recognize some of these later. Oh, look. He shows up. That's weird. He shows up and, that's weird. I don't know why I see that. Anyway. Meanwhile, in the realm of darkness, Aqua finds herself walking forever, sacrificing everything for her friends as a true warrior of love and devotion, and the most beautiful woman in all video games, the most incredible, amazing. God bless you, Aqua. She walks for years, now alone, trying to find a way out of the realm of darkness. Because remember, she is the only one who knows where Ventus's body is. And until she comes out, no one else can get it. So he's gonna sit there for a while. The wandering begins. And now Ventus. What about Ventus's body is in Castle Oblivion, which used to be their home, remember? Fully safe, but what about Ventus's heart? Remember, it's separated. Where did it go? Well, Ventus's fractured heart goes to a place he's been before, to a young, now older a bit, but still a young, sweet, smiling boy, and asks for a second chance, asks for shelter. And Sora, who has the same abilities as Xehanort, remember, the same X Factor, says, "What's mine is yours. Come into my heart. I'll be more than happy to help you." He's already done more by the age of 7 than Harry fucking Pothead did by the age of freaking 12. This is the hero. And so Ventus's heart goes inside of Sora's deep down, where it can recover and wait to be returned to where it needs to be. Now, Sora was young when he did this and kind of subconsciously used the power to do it. So he doesn't know Ventus is in there. He just remembers there was this dream one time, and I don't really know what happened, but it was like someone was sad. I hugged them. I let them in because I think that's right. That's the most he's got. So, more years later pass. Ventus's body stays in Castle Oblivion. Terra, Xehanort is where he is, and Aqua's wandering in the dark. As more years pass, Terra Xehanort begins not making good choices. Because remember, he's off of Xehanort's old personality. And underneath someone who studies hearts, he's like, what about darkness, though? What if we controlled that? And his master's like, no, don't you ever do that. I forbid you. Xehanort's like, okay. Hey, guys, you want to do a secret experiment without the master knowing? Let's study hard darkness. They're all like, cool. And a giant portal opens up and ruins the world. The whole place gets involved in darkness and gets overturned. Everyone's lost. More loss of hearts except Ansem, who's sent to the Dark World. This guy got transferred immediately to Dark World alive. That's not normal, but he fell right through like Aqua did. Everyone else is overcome by darkness and loses their hearts, because that's what happens when you're overcome. Good job. Good job. So, everyone in there is gone. Xehanort, possessed by Xehanort, Terranort, loses his heart. Doesn't that mean a heartless is made? We'll get there. 10 years pass, and we find ourselves back at that fated island once more. We're not done with it, and we're not done with it for a while, so get used to it. And that's where Kingdom Hearts 1 begins. The first game? Yes, this is where the first game begins, 10 years after Birth by Sleep. Everyone here? Everyone good? You good? We're not done yet. We still got like 5 games left. Everyone good? Okay, cool. This is why I started at 10. All right, so here at Destiny Islands, we see those boys we've seen before. Riku, the courageous, strong-hearted individual who was bequeathed through the Keyblade back in the day. A young girl with pure light who came from a distant land when it fell to darkness. She was from Radiant Garden whenever it fell, whenever Terranort messed with the darkness, everything fell. She got away from it somehow. We'll see that. And came here and doesn't remember where she came from because amnesia, because I'll tell you about it. We'll see it. And a sweet, smiling boy with a special X factor to touch the hearts of others, but with just a normal bright heart and standard darkness inside. Remember, Riku was bequeathed by the Keyblade ability by Terra, so he has the rights to wield one. Remember that. Kairi is from Radiant Garden, another world. Best girl Aqua, best amazing savior, best girl, love her. Took care of her with a protection spell, so whenever stuff happens, she will go to the nearest light if something goes wrong. Remember that? Okay, cool. And she's a princess of heart, by the way. Cool. Technically, that spoilers this, but we're going to be there. This is all the past. And then we've got Sora, whose Ventus's heart is still deep within. Remember, still super deep that Sora doesn't know about. And he was not bequeathed with the Keyblade. Remember that. He was not bequeathed. Terra was. Not Terra. Oh my gosh. I'm getting them mixed up because they're the same archetype. Riku was. Not Sora. But Sora does have the X Factor to reach out to hearts. Like Xehanort. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, in a distant fantasy land a long way away, there was a royal knight, a head of the guard, and a royal magician who were meeting with the queen and the queen's consort. You see, the king, Mickey, who became a Keyblade master after his training was done with Yen Sid, ruled his castle and everything, he went missing. He left a letter. In the letter, Mickey told Dawn and Goofy and Minnie and Daisy that their worlds were in danger. You see, oh my gosh, look at that. I always do this, guys. Anyone else try to write the word to and it ends up OT? I do it all the time. Basically, remember how all the worlds are separated with the darkness between them, right? No real easy way to go through the worlds. You have to have like a ship or some other dark corridor. Well, the worlds are starting to get enveloped by darkness. The darkness from around them is starting to envelop them or come from within them. That's not normal. They're supposed to be protected by their boundaries. That's why the world are kept separate. But now they're starting to come in from within and overtake. That's not how this is supposed to work. That's bad. So Mickey says, all right, guys, the worlds are being taken over. Huh? Not good. Nah, ha, ha. Bad, ha, ha. And we need to find a key. You guys need to, my bestest buds, the whole world where I trust, you need to go look for a different key. I'm going to go find the key in the world of darkness. Oh boy, can't wait to go down there. Hope I don't find someone else who's been wandering and maybe I can help. You guys need to find the key to the world of light, and we need to use both of them. So here we go. Basically, Mickey's going to go find the key to the world of darkness, which can be used to close the doors between, and the world of light key, kingdom key, needs to be found and utilized by the one who it's going to go to. One who maybe is a Keyblade wielder, hence Riku. And so Donald could be like, okay, let's go. And they're like, all right, off to adventure. Meanwhile, Destiny Islands has a problem. You see, the world of darkness, their world, Destiny Islands, the door opened to the heart of the world, darkness started to seep through. You see, every world has a door that leads to the heart of all worlds, darkness. Because remember, Kingdom Hearts, all the worlds are born off of it. So everything has a door that leads back to the primordial ground zero. The door opened because someone opened it. Xehanort. You'll see who. And darkness started to spread out. All three of the friends were entrapped in danger as the Heartless, the little beings of darkness, came, and they couldn't be fought against. And each one of them had their fate met in different ways. Riku, bequeathed with the ability to wield a Keyblade, rose to the challenge and became a hero to overcome the darkness, and didn't follow in the steps of Terra, his master-ish, who bequeathed the Keyblade, and fell to... Yeah, he did the same thing. It's exactly it. Generational trauma coming in strong. Riku digs into a mysterious darkness. It's no Heart Xehanort. Remember, Xehanort's been here the whole time, chilling on the beach, like... Time? Okay, all right, here we go. Gonna help open the door to darkness for the world? Okay. This boy, I've seen you before. I know your type. Hey, you don't like being in a small world, do you? You guys want to go out and see the world, right? If you give in the darkness, you can control the lies told by the enemy every time. You don't need to worry about the vanity of the world overtaking you and addictions and everything. You can conquer it because you're strong. Devil lies to us all the time. And Riku accepts the darkness from this dude who bequeaths to him a piece of like real darkness, the original primordial, and goes, remember, because what is darkness's goal? Once again, everyone, remind me, spread and corrupt. Very good. Or in biblical terms, steal, kill, and destroy. Great. So it overtakes Riku, who says, I'm out of here, and uses dark corridors to yeet out to his own dimension for his own journey of strength. When the darkness overtakes Kairi, she is a being of pure heart, light. Remember, she can't make us a heartless. Riku accepted the darkness, so he didn't become a heartless. He went with it, like Xehanort did before. Kairi is overcome by darkness, but because of her pure light, darkness can't overtake her, so it just shoves at her until her heart shoots out of her body. And because of the special spell that Aqua put on her, her heart, whenever it's separated and the darkness goes after it, because there it is, the spell kicks in by beautiful, amazing, awesome.
Beautiful.
Just the most beautiful character. And takes refuge in the closest light. Well, that's not Riku, obviously, because darkness. Well, Sora. And remember, Sora's heart has done this before with Ventus. So his X Factor kicks in, syncs up with the spell, and zoop, her heart goes straight in without him even realizing it. That just leaves our sweet, smiling boy, who does not have the bequeathing of a Keyblade Master, has Kairi's heart in there, has his own, Ventus's is way down, and he's like, crap. But he doesn't give in. As the darkness overtakes, he does not take Riku's realm of, do you want to give in? Do you want to control? It'll save you. And he's like, no, I won't. I'm going to hold on to what's right. And just as the Bible teaches, he held on, and the Keyblade of the Realm of Light just so happened to be in Destiny Islands. That's where it was. And it pops out, and it looks around and goes, This is a lot of darkness. Crap. You! And Sora, who does not have the right to wield the Keyblade, but does have a Keyblade wielder deep inside him, and Kairi, who's being a pure light, and his own heart, grabs the Keyblade, fights off, and is transported outside the world as it is taken into the realm of darkness. It moves through and is eaten down. But Sora escapes because the Keyblade and all the lights inside him lead him out. Now, as Sora leaves, I hate time travel. Did I say that yet? Okay. Remember, this guy, the Xehanort's heart, just his heart in time-traveling fashion, is like, okay, this world's gone. Riku's set up with darkness. Great. That Sora boy got away. That's weird. All right, so I know that they're going to be back here, and I'm going to need them. So I'm going to sit here until the time is right, because right after Sora and Riku leave, Dream Drop Distance, the game so far in the future, begins in the timeline. Technically, it starts here, but just keep it in mind, we're not going over it yet, because Nomura loves this. I know it's supposed to be chronological. I hate you for this. Just know that this is where Dream Drop starts, okay? We're going to be back here. This part of the timeline, where Destiny Islands is eaten by the darkness, and Xehanort's heart's sitting here, waiting. This is where Dream Drop starts, okay? Great, cool. I'm not going any farther than that with Dream Drop right now. As it's there, No Heart Xehanort waits for the boys to return while joined by himself. He's like, hey, I got through the time travel scavenger hunt. I brought some friends. As our two boys from the future show up to start what they're going to do in Dream Drop, okay? All right, put a pin in this spot. This is where Dream Drop starts, okay? Dream Drop is the latest game in the entry, all right? Starts here, okay? Great, just put a pin in there. Okay, great. Moving on. More on that later. Okay, so Sora is flung to a world, and at that world, he meets Donald and Goofy, and he has the Keyblade. Donald and Goofy are like, oh, that's what the king was looking for. We need to follow you. And Sora's like, I just want to find my friends because I'm worried. I don't know what this Keyblade is, but we got to fight against the darkness and shut off the keyholes for each world so darkness doesn't fly out anymore. And they're like, we'll let you be on our ship. Oh, sorry, let me do that. We'll let you be on our ship if you lead us to the king. And he's like, that's great. I'm Sora. My name's Donald. I'm Goofy. And they became bestest friends. And from that point on, the three of them went on an adventure to find their king and friends. They went through the worlds having adventures together, meeting Disney places that hold no overarching weight, and shutting the keyholes. Finally, they find themselves in a place called Hollow Bastion. This place was overtaken by darkness a long time ago and transformed the world into this broken, yet melancholy beautiful, second to last area of a game. And here, they ran into... Hey, Riku, that's where you went. Hey, buddy, I know we kind of met you on our journeys. You got a little mean and everything, but I'm sure you're fine, right? And Riku's like, hey, Sora, that Keyblade's pretty cool. That's a cool weapon. I see you got new friends. You kind of dumped Kairi and us. That's cool. So I was like, no, I'm trying to find you guys. He's like, that's cool. I'm taking that personally. And I took that personally. And Riku goes, hey, that Keyblade, that's mine. And takes it. It's one of my favorite parts of any of those games. Because remember, he's bequeathed as a Keyblade wielder. Not Sora. Sora is not. Sora does not have the right to wield a Keyblade besides Ventus inside his heart, who technically can, so kind of, by proxy. Riku has the right, so he takes the Keyblade back and he says, I'm the real hero of this story. You were the delivery boy. And because Donald and Goofy need to follow the key, they go to Riku and follow him. And Sora is left all alone. With Beast, technically. Beast is there. With nothing left. No special powers, besides his X Factor he doesn't know about. No Keyblade. He's left in a world that's very dangerous. These Heartless are in-game. And he doesn't have anything. And now he's told, I'll take care of Kairi. Don't you worry about it, Sora. You just go back. I'll open a dark portal or something when I get back. You just stay here. So Sora gives up, right? I mean, there's nothing left to do. He's not the hero of the story. right? You see, God's the one who chooses who does what. And no one on this earth tells us what his plans are for ourselves. And like the word says, he who began a good work in you will finish it. And Sora goes, no, I'm still here. I'm still moving. Even if suffering's on me and I'm left all alone, I can still do something. I still have the ability to walk, to breathe, to fight. I'm going to do it. And so he, with nothing left, goes forward on his own with Beast. Yes, with Beast. Thank you, Beast. In order to save Kyrith. Because he knows it's the right thing to do. At this point. So he goes forward and is met by Riku with a very unique new design. Oh yes, not very hero garb, Riku. It's anti-hero. Don't you watch modern DC comics stuff? No, I don't, because it sucks. Sorry, if anyone likes DC, it's fine. I don't think I'm hitting on anti-heroes, okay? I'm sorry. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Make fun of Bleach or something. There you go. For that. There's a lot to make fun of. And so he's like, Sora, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. You need to leave here at all. And Sora's like, I don't care. I'm going to do what's right because even if I don't have any special powers, I still have my heart and I can still choose to do the right thing. And so he stands up. And Donald and Goofy are like, you know what? You're going to betray the king? Nope. Not on your life. But I wouldn't betray Sora either because we're best buds. And Donald's like, I'm going to go together. One for all for one for all. And so they're like, it's okay, Sora. We choose you as a person, not the weapon or the prophecy. We choose the person. And so he's like, I'm going to keep going, Riku. You can do whatever you want, but we're going to try and do what's right. Riku's like, no, you won't. I'm going to freaking knock you out now because I'm bitter and I have everything I could ever want now, but I'm still not fulfilled. Gee, I wonder why. And so he attacks Sora. So we have the egotistical, arrogant, literally evil outfitted, anti-hero, brooding boy Riku, and the kind, humble, mindset on important things like friendship and fellowship, Sora. So, the Keyblade in Riku's hands, feeling all the darkness festering from his palms, looks at Riku, looks at Sora, looks at Riku. I'm personifying it, but it probably did this. Looks at Sora, looks at Riku, and goes, you know what? Screw you. This kid's got what it takes. He's got the heart. He's not perfect, but he's doing his best. His heart has the intention for right. So you know what? He's got a Keyblade wielder technically inside him. That's good enough by proxy. He's the wielder, not you. And together, with light in hand, they beat Riku back and ascend to find Kairi. Hooray! And Riku goes crying like a little baby. After Riku's crying session, he goes off on his own. His power's all depleted. Oh, and darkness wasn't good enough. It's almost like it was in vain, and it only gave me immediate gratification. It didn't go any farther than such. Gee, I wonder why. And there, he meets... Oh, my freaking God.
Get out of my way!
Get out of here! Go away! Gosh! Xehanort, as just a heart, shows up. He can't be here. Yes, he can, because he placed a piece of himself in Riku. So technically, he's here right now. Remember, you can only time travel where you were present in the past. He's here right now. Because he put a piece of himself in Riku. And Riku's like, yeah, come on, I want that darkness to get out of my home, remember? So he can be here. Cool. So he's like, hey... It's technically Xehanort, whatever. It's his heartless. He goes, hey, Riku, you want better darkness? I got the good kush right here. And Riku's like, you know what? I do. Because I'm going to be better than Sora. Jealousy, bitterness. And so he hands over the darkness. And whenever he hands it over, bada bing, bada boom, Xehanort's got a new body. Again. So Xehanort's heartless, as just a heart, gains a form on Riku. Now Riku's heart, once again, is just like Terra's was, remember? Oh boy, it's another one. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this one will go well. And with his special powers of everything and his knowledge of the Keyblade, he makes a special key. One that can, with his X Factor, Xehanort's X Factor, I guess that's why it works that way. Good point. I always think of it as a prototype of the Keyblade, but yeah, it's because Xehanort's heart can unlock hearts directly. Can like take them out, like he did to Ventus way back when, remember? So he's like, ha ha, here we are. So then, after defeating Maleficent, whatever, Sora goes forward, and Dawn and Goofy follow. And finally, he finds Kairi, or well, Kairi's body, because Kairi's with him all along. And Kairi's body is kaput, because remember, her heart's inside Sora. And just like Ventus, when he lost his heart, as a being with pure light, she's just... So Sora's like, wake up, wake up! And Riku shows up. But it's not Riku, as we just established. It's Xehanort's Heartless possessing Riku. And he calls himself, thank you, Nomura, Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. Oh, wait a minute. Ansem was the nice, wise guy who was researching hearts back in Radiant Garden that Xehanort betrayed back then, remember? This isn't Ansem. I know. He's taking on the name of his old master as a mock and calling it Seeker of Darkness instead of Seeker of Hearts and Purity. He's mocking his old master. It's Xehanort, okay? It's Xehanort's Heartless, okay? It's Xehanort's Heartless. Here it goes. Remember whenever Terranort, who was like, forgotten all his memories and everything? Remember whenever he opened the door and it's like, and they overtaken and he lost his heart? When you lose your heart, a Heartless is made. This is his Heartless. But his Heartless, because it's a being of ridiculous darkness, and the original pieces of darkness is in there, has its own will, like the original darkness did, because it's that strong. So he actually has like a semblance of will instead of, and unlike all the other Heartless, kind of just go with instinct. So he's like, ha ha, I am here, young Keyblade wielder of, why the heck do you have a Keyblade? You won't bequeath, I don't know who you are, whatever. I need that final princess because I've captured all the others, and now with all of them, we're going to open the door to darkness, and I'm going to get the 12 pieces and everything. We're going to get this Kingdom Hearts thing going. This is part of my ultimate plan. Once again, another shortcut is available to me. This one will work. Remember, Princess of Heart, lost and asleep now. Heart's inside Sora. And her heart's inside Sora, safe but trapped. He can't get it out, like Ventus's, but he has no Ventus's in there. And he finds out, Kairi's heart's a name. He's like, I will save you, princess, and allow you to help me. And he tries to, with a special Keyblade, stab Sora and take Kairi's heart out. But Sora, just like before, with the righteousness and character development, the goodness that he's built, says no, and fights back. And fighting together, well, actually fighting alone, it was a one-hit battle, he defeats Riku possessed by Xehanort's Heartless, who kind of disappears for a moment. Because what happens is they dissipate, and Riku's like, hey, this is my body. And he's like, no, it's not. So they're dealing with that. Meanwhile, Sora's looking down at Kairi is like, crap. And he looks to the keyhole and is like, okay, I got to seal this, because this is where all the darkness is coming out for all the worlds and stuff. This is bad. It can't seal. It needs all 7 princesses to seal it. So it's like, crap. She's here. She's in me, but I don't know how to do the princess thing. So he's like, uh-oh. I can't get her out. And Kairi needs to wake back up. Keyhole's incomplete. All 7 are needed. And the heart's inside him. So Sora, being the kind-hearted, amazing, self-sacrifice, beautiful follower of the Lord's semblances of love that he is, and like a beautiful certain someone, makes the choice.
Beautiful.
And in one of my favorite scenes of any video game, and that really stuck with me when I was a kid, took the Keyblade, once again with a heart of gold and a silly smile, took the Keyblade that was left behind that Stanley can unlock hearts. And remember, maybe this is why you could use it. I never thought about this. This is new theory. Maybe because Sora has the X Factor to touch hearts directly, this Keyblade that can touch hearts directly can only be wielded maybe by those who have that kind of ability. Xehanort could, of course, but Sora can. And he takes it. He smiles to Donald and Goofy, and without a moment's hesitation or thought for himself, stabs himself with the Keyblade, and loses his heart that escapes. Ventus's is still inside his. It's like a heart inside a heart. That's not normal, but Sora's X Factor made it happen. Keep that in mind. It's with Sora, not his body, okay? It's with his actual heart. And Sora's heart escapes, becoming just a heart. Hey, does anyone know what that means? Does anyone remember the stupid rules of the dumb, stupid concept you shouldn't use if it's not your core one, time travel? Remember that? Probably remember that. Becomes just a heart, And darkness happens, normal stuff, and Kairi, he disappears, and Kairi's heart returns back to where it belongs, and she wakes up. As she wakes up, Xehanort's Heartless shows up again and says, I'm getting you, don't foil my plans. And Riku's like, no, I'm still here, because remember, their hearts are connected. He didn't lose his heart, it's just connected right now. So he holds him back like Terra did before and goes, get out of here, I'll hold him. So they run. Sora nowhere to be seen. However, since he lost his heart, where Sora's body was, a little singular bit of darkness emerges. Sora's Heartless. And I love that it is the smallest, crappiest version of Heartless, the little ones, because Sora's darkness is there. He is human. I'm glad Nomura acknowledges that, because as the Bible talks about, everyone's capable of sin. No one is pure. Not one of us. And we all need God's love. And Sora is not pure either. He does have darkness. But, while that's true, he is very small because he's such a bright boy and I love him. And so his little Heartless chases after the strong light that it once knew, Kairi. His heart, now being a heart only, like a Heartless. Remember, Heartless is a heart only. Singular heart. Goes after Kairi. And he actually has, this is a fun part of the game, you actually get to play as it. He actually has a will. A very weak one, but a will. Probably because of X Factor, because Sora. So he goes after Kairi. And then at the same time, Roxas, his nobody, and Naminé were created. Xehanort's nobody got a hold of both. What's a nobody? We'll talk about it. Just know this is when they got created. Those two, the girl and the boy you see there, were created at this time. Gee, that boy looks familiar. Yeah, how about that? We'll get there. Anyway, as Sora finds Kairi, she protects him, and her light connecting to his X Factor brings his heart back. And in a feat that no one really has ever done before, a miracle happens, and Sora rejuvenates himself in light and is there with the Keyblade, living again. But at this point in the story, remember, his body is not here. It's like, what do you mean? I see him. We haven't talked about nobodies. His body is somewhere else. Whenever the heart gets separated from the body goes somewhere else. Or just dissipates. Not all the time on nobody's man. No body went somewhere else. His heart is here. What you're seeing right now, which is extremely rare, is a living heart with a metaphysical form. Not even Xehanort's basically. Well, the brown cloak was basically this. Okay, he's brown cloaking it, all right? But because of the Keyblade, he's got power to be able to stand. Maybe that is why he actually has a body, because the Keyblade's there. That's the only way I can see it. But he's a living heart right now. Keep that in mind. So, Kairi's light brought our boy back, and it's time to end this. So, Sora goes to the end of the world, the final area. Remember how, like, the world of light is being overtaken by the darkness at this point? The darkness world is starting to seep in. So they go to the outer realm where all of that, like the darkness is flooding in, the vanguard position, and they go, we're beating this back. And there, they find Xehanort's Heartless. Riku sent back to the world of darkness because he went, no! And Riku's body was sent to the world of darkness, just like Terra, well, more like Aqua was back then, okay? So with friends in tow, Sora beats back Xehanort's Heartless. Xehanort's Heartless is like, Kingdom Hearts, open! Because he thinks this is a door for it, because it's at the edge of the realm of reality. He's like, open with darkness, give it to me! And Sora's like, nah, it's light, bro, because Kingdom Hearts has both. And it opens and... Hold on. Sorry. It opens and Xehanort's defeated. Xehanort's Heartless is stabbed by the light and he's defeated. He's gone. He dissipates. His Heartless is no more. His Heartless is gone. Defeated. Keep that in mind. That's important. Okay, so the door that is linked to the world of darkness is right here, right? Like it's an opening for it. Remember how that you can't pass between them, between the two cookies? Remember? This door lets you, and that's not good because all darkness is like, yay, world of light. What is they trying to do? Spread? No. Yes, spread and corrupt. Yay! And they're like, no. So they're trying to shut it. And Sora's key, that key there, is one of the things needed to work. Okay, great. We need to lock it from the other side, too. crap, who's going to do that? Meanwhile, on the other side of the door, in the other side of the cookie, the realm of darkness, we find a beautiful, incredible old friend and flame, mom,
Mommy?
friend,
Sorry.
flame, mom,
Mommy?
mom,
Sorry.
beautiful Keyblade master, yes, Aqua, and she's still wandering. She's done it for 10 years at this point, and she's still walking. Remember, the darkness corrupts around her. She doesn't have that armor. She doesn't have the cloak. She's still fighting. That's my girl. Best girl. And she runs into Mickey. Remember, Mickey went down here in order to find the Keyblade, the other one that's needed to shut the door. It's somewhere in the world of darkness. There's one in the world of light, one in the world of darkness. These are special ones that the world's made itself, the world, the big W world, made itself to be able to shut the doors to darkness if it's ever needed. It's like a special failsafe. And so he's like, I gotta find this one. And she's like, okay. Mickey, and she's like, Aqua, you're alive. Have you seen Ventus and Terra? I haven't seen Terra. Surely he's not evil or something. And I don't know where Ventus is. Crap, I need to go wake him. Okay, let's both get out of the realm of darkness. We'll be great. Cool, awesome. I need to find the key. Great. And so she's like, okay, we'll go find this key, and we need to fight the Heartless because this is their realm, and they're very powerful here. They get home base bonuses, and my God, if you ever play a D&D campaign, you're in the Dark World, so all the enemies have like another D4 added to their damage. It's like for an extra 10 health. It's like, God. So they're fighting in the Dark World, and they find the special key. They find it. However, freaking darkness is like, hey there, is that light? Cool. Eat it. Spread and corrupt that crap. So Mickey takes the Keyblade, the new one, the special one, is like, I'm going to go do it. And Aqua's like, I'll hold them here. So Riku, remember, Riku's in that dark world. He got pushed there, but he didn't lose his heart. He became just a heart for a moment, and he got pushed down there. Remember, Riku became just a heart because he got his heart taken by darkness. Remember that. That's important. So he's down in the world of darkness. He got sucked down there just like Aqua did that one time. So he's at the door, and he's like, okay, Sora, I see you on the other side. I'm very sorry for what I did. Redemption arc. I really want to. And Sora's like, I forgive you, buddy. I love you. We're push on both sides. Okay, King, Your Majesty, it's ready. Can you come do it? And Mickey's like, we're kind of busy here. And so Aqua, being the beautiful, amazing, just incredible.
So beautiful.
Just incredible woman she is, says, go. With the door right there, after 10 years in hell, goes, go. Seal it. I got this. And so she, once again, sacrifices herself, falls in the darkness deeper. They grab her, but she stops them. And on both sides, they raise the Keyblade and seal the door. The world, Big W world, the overarching world, is saved. Darkness is stopped. And the only darkness left is the ones that was already there. It seeps through every so often, but not the big flow. The faucet is shut off. Hooray! A beautiful ending. Look at that. Kingdom Hearts 1 finished. And look at that. Kingdom Hearts 1 had a good ending. Well, Riku and the king are trapped in the world of darkness. So that is kind of bittersweet. But at least overall it was happy, right? Nothing bad. Gosh dang it, Nomura, please! We will get you out. I promise. I promise. Also, by the way, whenever she fought off the Keyblade, the Heartless and everything, she lost her Keyblade. Remember Master Ericus she had? So that's gone now. So she has nothing but her literal heart as light. That's it. That's all she has. That's the only protection. And she's down deeper now. No more. So, the big world is saved. Aqua's lost again. Again. And the king and Riku are somewhere out there in the world of darkness, basically trying to find their way out as well. They're on the surface area, and trying to be found. And this leads to Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, the next installment. Everyone's still good? We're 2.5 hours in. Are we halfway? Kind of. We're close.